All right, guys, welcome back to the Imaxit YouTube channel. I'm your host, JD. If you're new, please do smash that like button, share, and definitely subscribe. If you're a member of the channel, massive respect to you lot. And how to become a member, please do click the join button. If YouTube allows you, that means if it's visible, that means you could proceed. YouTube will help you along the way once you click that like button, join button. All right, so as you saw by the title, we're going to try and look at how best the Jamaica Reggae Boyz squad could be coming up. All right, and that will use a few things. All right, due to the fact that it's not an international window, that's one. The availability of certain class of players, that's two. And also performances we have to look at when we are dealing with it, i.e. yesterday people talked about the MLS, that we could have gotten a few players because they're in their playoff stages. So once you get knocked out, you have nothing else to play for. What dates is the best dates for them to actually come in? Because obviously if the game is going to be on the 11th, you want to make sure you get at least a training session or a get together, some rest period or something. Yes, because what are you looking for? You know, what are you looking for? All of those things are important. Then we have to talk about the Manning Cup, Dacosta Cup. All right, we missed out some of the show yesterday. We have to put that back in. JPL had a few games played, so we wanted to talk about that because you will have JPL teams featuring in the final legs of the Concacaf Caribbean Cup that serves for the qualification of the Concacaf League, Champions League, whatever you want to call it. All right, yes, so all of that we have on display. And if you like what we are doing and want to interject at any point, you call in and give your point. Make it a little bit short, 5 minutes max, so at least you could leave a space for someone else or the conversation could continue. All right, so yes, let me start with giving the people some big up. We have DNA football in the building. Massive respect. Chevron says good morning, slash afternoon, JD, hope all is well. Yes man, I'm good. It's cool like wash my face with my cake soap, so I am happy and good. Yes, John Powell, big up yourself, thanks for being here. Hope all is well with you, Siobhan, as well. Dwayne Thomas in the building, Corey MPA in the building, and Richard Samuels in the building. All right, so let me start with some updates as to what's going on and what serves to what we wanted to build, which is the actual Jamaica Reggae Boyz team. So you had Houston versus Salt Lake. Remember, we had the first game and we wanted to know what will happen in the second game. All right, as you saw there, the second game ended 1-1. All right. Yes, and it went into penalties. As you know, we are pulling it up on the screen so you could see. You have our boy that could have served as a placed Ola, Kevin Lambert. He will be advancing. He will be advancing based on how it finished. All right. Based on how it finishes, he will be advancing. So that is a no-brainer. Based on that, he will not be available. All right, he will not be available because Real Salt Lake would be advancing based on let me make sure, because it looks like it's Houston. Nah. It is. It is Real Salt Lake won it on penalty 5-4, so Real Salt Lake should be advancing. So our boy will not be available, so that he is out. And I do believe that he was a good selection. I wanted to see more, and I think he would have wanted to get more out in this actual game. You know, a position that you're sure that you're going to start and you can work on the coach's system. So that is a slight blow right there. But it's always good because it's better for his development, to be honest. So he is not here, which is the Real Salt Lake team. All right, that is Kevin Lambert. So now we have to definitely want Speedy in it a little bit more. All right, so a lot of people never wanted Speedy at that time. Well, now you have to like Speedy a little bit more. He might just be a little bit speedier. Big up yourself, thanks for being here. Richie Richard says New York in the building. Then we have Travis Pessoa in the building as well. Oh, you doing, man? Hope all is well with you and the family. So that puts a next spot for another JPL player coming in. So what say you? We're gonna get all of you results, Big Boss. We ain't missing anything today. What say you? Who are that deep line midfielder that you would have brought in for Kevin Lambert? Let me know. All right? Yes, let me know who you would want to replace him with. All right, let me know. All right, so let me move on. Because we have a lot of things to chop up. Oh Lord. Float management, big up yourself, thanks for being here. How has Speedy been playing for Colorado switchbacks? I think he's one of the more stable players them. Surprisingly, you know. As what I've said, everyone talks about Maggie. But really and truly, all of the other three players are playing better than Maggie for the entire season. And they are more of a starter than Maggie. So if we appreciate Maggie gets a call up, all of the others then warrant the call up. I've said that yesterday, DC Sav. You get me? So when people beating down on Speedy, I am saying, but Speedy playing better than Maggie for the club. So I don't understand how can we accept one person, but you still can't accept the other. It was kind of shocking how I saw the approach, and I think these are the things that why people could say that we kind of favoritized personnels. Based on what we know about them, like the man income popularities and stuff. Because if you check the facts, it doesn't matter what metric you're going to use. Speedy is a more integral piece of the team than Maggie at this point. And we have to say the truth, you know. And Beckford, the same for Beckford and the same for Romario. But we would welcome one and then question the hell out of the other's selection. It makes no sense. And that shows our slight bias right there, people. And we need to investigate a little bit more before we jump to conclusion. All right. But all of them are performing better than Maggie. So if Maggie deserves to make the team, all of them deserve to make the team. Lancy Blake, big up yourself, thanks for being here. Eric Sewell in the building. Omar Fowling, big up yourself as well. Massive respect, guys. Smash the like button, share and subscribe so we could get the visibility up. Going to share it for you as well. So let me get some games coming up for the Manning and Dacosta Cup, and then we get some predictions as well. So we have in the next one Tivoli Gardens. Tivoli Gardens lost the last time against Stgc 2-0. Do you see Tivoli Gardens bouncing back against Jamaica College, because Jamaica College lost to Idel 1-0? All right. For me, I say no. I'm going to still back Jamaica College. I am going to still back Jamaica College to take it. I'm going to still back them. I think they still have a good team. Obviously, most of their star players moved on. Yes, but I'm going to still back them, and thinking that they could turn up and because they've been playing some good football. They are one of the best teams that actually advances. So it has nothing to do with the players that left so far. You know, I think they have quality to bounce back and actually have the quality to fight for actual spot. Remember, it's 3 games, so with 3 games it leaves you if you don't get a point in the first game, it leaves you all over the shop. All right, so they are in a troublesome position. That's a fact. All right, that's a fact. They are in a troublesome position, but I do think if any one of the teams are prepared to surpass that, I do believe that JC would be that one. So JC, for the JC personalism, you guys need to turn up for the match, or at least find a way to spur your team on, because they're going to need it. All right, they can't lose against the Tivoli Gardens team. All right, yes. Or else they are pretty much done and dusted. All right, because now you will have a Stgc trying to go on 6 points, and also Idel trying to go on 6 points. And if that does end in a draw, that even sets it up worse for them. If they don't get a point out of this game, if they lost it, that would be completely out for them. All right, yes. Because remember, it's two teams advances, to be honest. Chevy says, JD, fans just want them favorite player. That's why them hype him up. Okay, but I had to give them the information as to what the reality is. Alright, Omar Fowling says, no, JC 3, Tivoli nil. Alright, Omar Fowling says, JC has to win. I think they will get it today. Yes, they have to win it. Yes, they have to win it. Alright, so for instance, if they draw that game, yeah, more likely have to win, because you don't want to wait on all sort of metrics to have any conversation. You need to go out and win it, and that is the end of it. Alright, yes, you need to go out and win it. Alright, JC got at Bob Marley, one love. Okay, all right. And then now we have Staths Kingston Technical. This is a big one, guys. This is a big one. Let me know, guys. We have Staths Kingston Technical. This is a big one. How you think that this one will work out for you? How are you looking at this? Kingston Technical, they have looked seriously good, you know. They lost the first game, but because remember, Idel was deducted of points, so it goes back to Kingston Technical. And since then we have to be honest to ourselves. They have not looked terrible. They have looked better than what persons thought they would have been. All right, that's what I would say. They have looked much better than what persons thought that they would have been. And that's even the reason why I've said that I don't believe that Mona would have defeated them. And people told me that the game was dominated by Mona. I have watched the game, and I want to tell you that no. Mona they were a slightly better team in patches of the game, but I want to say that Kingston Technical was, Kingston College was in the game as well. So I would ask people to go and watch the game for themselves. All right, and what I've learned yesterday, even yesterday I was watching the Chelsea-Tottenham game. Don't want to sway off the topic, but I was watching the Chelsea-Tottenham game, and Dr. Dan argued with me as to how Tottenham was dominating the game in the first 25 minutes. And I had to key out some things to show him that I don't think it's the way you said it is, you know. I think that Chelsea is allowing them to come in the mid-press and then exploit them over the wide channel. Because you have a fullback that is not naturally a fullback, and you have Raheem Sterling over there, and they would take that better gamble because it's a gamble in football in metrics, and he never saw it. And that was the point, the key point. Yesterday I did it on JTL's channel, and that was what changed the game. That was what led to all of the dramatic things. So I think sometimes when people are assessing the football, I don't think they are looking for the right things because they're tied up in the emotions, you know. Yes. So when I've watched the game, I want to say that all of you guys that jumped to say that Mona dominated the game, no, that's not true. All right. So that even makes me believe that. Let me believe that KC could cause some upsets throughout this group, like cause some upset as in getting points of others, not just the one that I predicted, but others as well, included Staths. They could cause some problems with Staths and force them closer to the end, and you never may know what could happen after that situation. So I'm not saying it will be a draw, but I think, because I think Staths team is much more well-rounded than Mona. So that would say Staths has the edge, but I would not be surprised if they got something out of that game. Staths KC, all right, still picking Staths because they have not done anything bad as yet, so I'm going to go with them. But I would not be surprised if this game becomes a very, very tough game for St. Andrew Technical, because you see sometimes when a team knows their limitation, they tend to play into their confined space that they are comfortable in, and sometimes you're harder to take them out of that, rather than teams that comes forward, shows no respect, i.e. Tottenham. And Chelsea was just all day for the taking. If Jackson scores yesterday, Chelsea 6, Tottenham with relative ease. If Jackson can just score football, and he scored a hat-trick yesterday, but if he can just put the ball in the back of the net, Chelsea give Tottenham 6 with relative ease, even when they said that they were on top. the amount of chances they have gotten. So I've said that to say this is when you know your limitations, i.e. the Reggae Girlz, that's what made them win further. 80 never knew their limitations. 80 just wanted to play everyone off the park. You see the difference? Even though they are talented as an attacking force. But when it comes on to the overall team itself, they tend to don't know the limitation. They think they can just use the money and just bulldoze everyone, and it does not work. You have to be strategic, and I think that KC is a much more strategic team than Mona. You understand me? That's why I would say that I could bat for KC to stay in games better than Mona could, even though Mona might have the better forwards. Are the more flashy attacking plays. You understand me? So those are the things that we need to start look out for. All right. Yes. Tifali is the weakest team in the zone. Well. All right. Mona KC game was scrappy. Yes, I've watched it myself and I have seen nothing what persons described. You know. Jason Guna, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. Marcella says 40s for life. All right. No, Travis, the game was scrappy for real. All right, give me a prediction. I'm going to go. I think KC will score on Staths, so I'm going to go for 2-1. I'm going to go for 2-1. I want to give KC some credit. Think they are growing faster than what persons gave them their credit. Gave them credit for. So 2-1 for Staths. I think Staths will be a little more organized, and the retention and also their pressing. When to press will be good enough, and I think that drawing them out will be much better from Staths. Hence why I'm giving them the 1 goal edge. All right, the 1 goal edge. But I think KC will score as well, so I want to give them credit right there. So 2-1. Jason said 3-1. No, it's on Chevis. It's on Phoenix channel. Go there. It's on more than one platforms, man. It's on a few platforms. I think it's on Richie's channel, so it's on all the channels them. So just go and type it in and you will see the whole game. Better images from both sides. Alright? So watch both of them and you will get different angles. Yes. Alright, so Staths wrapping up that 6 points based off my estimation right there. Then we have Idel St. George's. Idel St. George's. All right, Marcel said 3-1 Staths as well. So everyone giving Staths that, but I just made sure to put that in it. Could be a difficult night. KC they are growing. All right, so Idel St. George's. I do admit I think St. George's play the best football, as in attractive style of football. In the Manning Cup this season, yes, and they have matched that with results. The way the players then play in sync, I don't think they are as talented as what I expected. But just because they are in sync, it kind of trumped a lot of teams that are not organized. So that means the St. George's team has a way to go and they can get much better. All right, so don't sleep on them. They might just be secretly the best team in the actual Manning Cup. All right, because they are growing with familiarity, but and they are looking more comfortable in their skin playing out the system. All right, so I think that they could show up and be better as the games them goes. Let me know if that's what you saw from this team. And I do believe that with them beating Idel, which I think they are going to beat Idel, it's going to put some respect on their name because JC lost to Idel. And I'm going to go with them winning this one 3-1. I think it's going to be a convincing win from Stgc. They are going to be maybe the best team at the end of this round. They are going to be one of the best, maybe the best team in the entire Manning Cup second round. Their football is very good. All right, and then you're going to learn about organization. Yes. Football over physicality. Stgc 2-1. Good morning, Pagan. How are you doing? JD, if Staths no win the Manning Cup, me no know when them are gonna win it again. That is just they have been more consistent than majority of the other teams, aside from the KC and the JCs. You know, Calabar, big bad Calabar, have fallen off the map. You know, so Brain Drain is not here. Yes, I can say what I want. Jason Ferran is not here, so I can say what I want. You know, yes. Where will the KC versus Staths game played? Stadium East Field, and it's going to be 4:30. So this will be one of the late games then. Alright, and the first game, Tivoli, is still Stadium East, the earlier match, which is 2:30. Alright, yes. And then now St. George's College versus Idel will be played at JC 4:30. So that's the late game. Alright, and then now we have Mona versus St. Catherine, which will be the early game. Alright, Mona versus St. Catherine. They have played a few times. They know each other. Based on how Mona plays, that could be a plus for St. Catherine, because if you know how they play, you could stop them. Would you say that St. Catherine has the overall package to stop them? That is the question. Because now you know that if you pack the midfield, you get comfortable in the midfield, you can tear through their wing plays and get straight in, because the lack of centre-back presence. Alright, the stability in recovery around the back could be exploited very, very easily. So would they make that gamble? Are they good enough to do that? Obviously, I know that these Girlz, the KCs, the Staths could do it. St. Catherine could do it. I think to some extent, but I think it's not going to be good enough. I think Mona will overpower them with their wing plays. So I'm going for Mona in this one. Maybe a little bit closer. I would say 3-1 or 4-1 Mona. But I still think you're going to see more about Mona, that you could evaluate them with the other teams when we are doing our power ranking. Think you will see a much more there. But I think Mona will come through without much problems in this one. That's what I would say. All right, yes. So I would say 3-1, 4-1, 3-1, 4-1. That's what I'm going with. All right. Drew Ross, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. Triple E in the building. And Mirac says, we play effective football. Oh my God. The ego of the Stgc men. All right. All right. So Mona taking that one. All right. Mona taking that one. Aldian said, JD, thanks for giving us little credit. Oh my God. I have given Mona the biggest credit out of everyone, because I said that's the only game will be okay, just because I said, is it that do St. Catherine have enough resources to exploit them in the middle and also the wing plays? Come on, man. I know the weakness of Mona, so that's why I'm saying that I have to put it out there, so when people watching it can say, all right, we learned that on Imaxit, so we see what Mona has, and if the coach listen and don't change it, it's either he don't care, or he don't believe that people can tweak things to get the better of him, you know. Yes, so we have talks to get the games hyped up for people to go and watch and pull up their rulers, try to check up everything to see if everything is running right. Little credit, that's a lie. I gave them the biggest win of the damn day, and you're saying I gave them little credit. Oh my God, this Mona hype pillow guys, the Daily Pillow Man them, and the Whisper Pillow Man them, and the Mona and Butler Pillow Man them, they are so different. I said a team will win by the most, and they're cursing me out. How is that possible? Please, guys, let me know, how is that possible? How can I say a team will win by the most, but I keyed out where I think the problems will lie, which they're going to watch, you know, because they listened to their boss the last time, and their boss came and said everything that I've said before the game played, after the game played. And for especially one sports corner, for him, he should be coming here and said, JD, you know, you're really learning at school, because you really break down these games, you know. Good, you know. Because look how Mr. Butler came and said what you said after. So clearly, I have seen something in his team. So we should be giving me credit. And out here, you still find a way to fight me. So you know what I've realized? You guys will never support me. You will never support me. That's what I've realized. All right. Jason Buller says Mona 2-1. Omar Foley said Mona 3-0. Alien said, no man, I am little credit. It's just a Jamaican term. Okay. So hold on, you're trying to say that I'm not Jamaican. That's what you're trying to say. Oh Lord. So why wouldn't I not know that if that's a Jamaican term? Oh no, that don't sound well. That sounds like I'm not Jamaican for real. Oh God. I'm sad that big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Dre, anyway, I hope you're okay, my brother. Alright. Jamaican Guna, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Danica said, Jerry, Mona don't have any weakness. No, they okay, they don't have any weakness. Alright. Alright, Danica. I know you're lying, but I maybe you're being sarcastic, you know? Yes, maybe you're being sarcastic. I want to think that Danica being sarcastic. Yes, I will leave it right there, alright? Top of the morning. Big up yourself, Mr. Dre. Anyway, I hope all is well. Mona is the best entertaining team. I would say so. Let me give you that. And I've said that already. But you said it now. You make it feel. You feel better in yourself. But I have said that Mona is the gun-ho type team. But football in nowadays football don't work like that because controlling of the tempo is much more important than trying to run up and down. You get me? Yes. But I understand it's Jamaica football, the way we perceive football. It would be the most attractive football. But I think outside of the land, it wouldn't be the most attractive football still. That's what I'm saying. But I will leave it right there. Another scratch off says, Butler too hype. Him team will lose. Okay, good lord. I don't think so. Think they're going to win this time. And it escape at last. We will talk about JPL, sir. We have everything chopped up and ready to talk. JD slip up. Man is a double agent. Real Jaffakin. Okay. No. I said, if I don't know the tick, is it that I've left Jamaica too long? Or I'm not Jamaican enough? But I'm from the ghetto. I'm from in the ghetto. So none of these mans can tell me about slangs that I don't know. You know, maybe that was a new slang that turned up later on saying that little is just little. No, it's just not little. You know what? Whatever, yeah, man. Sadna, big up yourself, JD. It's a Jamaican club that signed 4 Asian players, U15, yesterday. That would be amazing because that would have said that Jamaica does not have the best U15 teams. And it is from 80. And I know majority of those guys, and I think it's best that Jamaica bought them from early because some of them have some serious potential. All right? Yes. Because remember, they are dominating the Caribbean region for the last 4 or 5 years consecutive. Maybe in Jamaica you won't get those news. You would hear that Jamaica has the best U15 players. It's not true. It's actually the Asians. The Asians have some serious talents over there. So if we can get some of them, we can sell them back for some big money. All right? Yes, because they have some seriously good talent. Yes. Owen, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. All right. Tennessee in the building. Shamar Hall said, what about Whisper to Chelsea? His birthday coming up soon. Well, just wait until his birthday come now. And then we can just give him a shout out, you know. Yes. Chris Smith, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Mad Vibe said, Asian youths team are a threat in the Concacaf period. Yes, they are very good. But true, you know that Jamaican people inside Jamaica don't get the right news, you know, so I have to bring the real news to them, that the Asians are actually the best Youth 15, Youth 17 teams in the region. Yes. Yeah, people, they are very good. So I would have bought them as well to try sell them back in the future. Yes. The Asian youth team are the threat. Yeah. Look at JD bigging up his people from 80. No, I am sticking with the facts, which is they beat up Jamaica bad. And we made excuse for all the other years them when we never turned up. And the next time we say we never equipped a squad. We find every excuse and they beat up everyone bad in those years. But we still said we had a title that we never actually achieved, which we are good at doing that in football. You understand me? So I was waiting on 80 versus Jamaica. And I can tell you, 80 ran rings around Jamaica. The football education was just miles apart. Miles. They are running in spaces. They are not even paying anything. The reaction between the space in them was just superior. All right. And then we had Warrior 777 balling, saying that with better training, they would have done better. Okay. All right. That means that the team is better. Yes, that's what it meant. Stop using word gymnastic. I'm tired of those things. Know yourself, big yourself. Thanks for being here. All right, so let me move on now to the big bad JPL. All right, yes, because we need to get into this, guys. 80 has always had a load of talent, just never get the exposure until recently. Okay, yeah, well, we're watching them, you know. People love me over 80, you know, but obviously Jamaicans and think that I'm Asian, so nothing really changes. So let me move on to the big bad JPL. All right, so JPL, as you saw it right there. All right, let me get the matches and also the results. Okay, the results. So, Lions 1-1 with Mullines United. I think Mullines is been managed by someone that we know, so I think we're going to get some information from him in the future. Montego Bay 1-0 win over Cavaliers. That is a big win, knowing that the Cavaliers team is actually looking good. Are you saying that is because they have one eye on the finals of the Concacaf, the Caribbean Cup? What say you? Are we going to give Cavaliers an excuse, or Moby is just full in swing, money popping, everything dropping, and they are going to just take the league by storm? What say you, Bias Travis? What say you, Bias Travis? Let me know. Bro, you half Asian. Oh my God. You guys can say what you want. All I know, I just come and give you the truth and then move on. It's good. The JPL can become a hub for, yeah man, mad vibes 100%. JD, what about the two Trinidad player? Yeah man, there was two guys, I knew them. That's Overy and my boy that played U20s and really destroyed U20s, but his team needed some help. You know, all that game against Suriname. Oh God, that game was special, man. Yeah, but I've been watching these kids a long time, and I do believe that they are talented players. They are talented players. Yes. So those are two good signings. I think these players are going to come in Jamaica and show up the level of development in Jamaica, because over them will be the best players in Jamaica. Very, very shortly. Very, very shortly. You know. I hope they could have gotten two of the Surinamese guys, them, you know. Yes, they should have gotten the Surinamese players, them, that made the team, and they're still in Suriname. But maybe now Robin Hood makes the final, maybe Suriname will get more slots next time around, because Jamaica benefited from 80's teams not being in the tournament. And because Jamaica is ranked high, they gave them those extra slots to be. That's what I've gotten from the conversation. So I think Suriname coming through the Caribbean Shield, winning it, and then making it this far might just get an automatic spot the next time around. All right, because I think that will jump their rankings. So let's see. Dumble Holding got pumped by Mount Pleasant. So Mount Pleasant. Okay, they don't give you the goal scorers, but I think we should have the goal scorers right there. But let me just stay with it. All right. So after third round, because some teams played 2 games, it looks like it's Mount Pleasant and 6 points, no goals conceded, and a load of goals scored and a load of money spent. All right. So is it that it's just money making them better? Or you think that the coaching there is actually better and helping them over the line? Are you just saying that, oh, they're about the best players, so they should be winning exactly as how they are doing? Let me know. JD, no excuse. Cavaliers played the first team. Okay, no problem. So they got beaten. So that means Mobile United is a threat then. Alright. Kemar says your friend Tapa side hot, JD. Alright. So Tapa is doing good. So would you guys consider Tapa back for the job? If Mr. Algrimson leaves, which is highly possible, you know, if Mr. Algrimson leaves, what say you? You think Tapa could get the job? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, because if you say that he's doing good, the best in the land, and we are waiting to see what he does in the Concacaf region, if they can go to the Champions League and do well, like be a stable team in the Champions League, yeah, we have to put some respect on their name. All right. All right. The man said too early. Too early. We have to give credit to the coaching staff. Lots of time we see good teams struggle because of poor coaching. Big up to Mr. Revolution. I do agree on that side, you know. Grim is leaving. No, I've never said anything like that. I said it's highly possible that he leaves. All right, yes. But if he leaves, and knowing that they normally try to give the second in command the job, would you say that Tapa is doing a better job and would have deserved it over Meran Garden? I want to agree in that context that I would have given him back the job over Meran Garden. Yes, I saw Meran Garden's team in the Manning Cup, and I saw Mount Pleasant. Both of them coming out of the same stable, but I think Whitmore is more stable. No, Tapa should stick to JPL. Tapa done. Laugh out loud. No, JD, no more Tapa madness. One love. Big up yourself. Thanks for being here. I hope the people will show a little bit more love. Because I've put the context in here and people still don't want to have the conversation. So Tapa, you now get the job. So just go look a job if Mount Pleasant don't want you outside Jamaica. Alright? They are not giving about the job. Alright? Alright, so Mount Pleasant at the top. Waterhouse last 1 out of the 3, puts them on 6 points, just the same, but they could be overtaken by several other teams. As you saw, there are a lot of teams on 4 points, so if all of them should win, if they're not playing each other, I think that will drop Waterhouse down the table a little bit more. Alright, so Lions on it. Montego Bay on 4 so far. Tivoli after 1 game played on 3, so they still have 2 games to push Waterhouse down the pecking order a little bit more. Portmore played 2 and have 3 points, so they could match Waterhouse as well, and maybe tip them on goal difference, because at this point they are on a +1 and Waterhouse is on a 2 goals difference. All right, so they could definitely pass them. So you could see Waterhouse dropping down the table like big stone. All right, yes. So Mullines 2 points after 3 games played. We have to call Brian Mighty and ask him what is he doing over there, you know, or is he not getting the big wins them with all of the metrics them, you know? Yes, we have to call him. Jamalco 1 point. Lime Hall a point after 2 games played. Dumble Holding. They are doing good with the passing and stuff, you know, but I think it's going to take a time, so give him a little chance to implement his system and give him a chance to bring in younger players, because I think some of the older players might struggle to get his system. For me, you know, yes. Harborview yet to kick a ball as yet. You know, I think this has not been updated so far. All right, it can't be, because Harborview. Okay, Harborview today on it. Okay, Harborview today on it. Okay. All right. So Cavaliers second from bottom after the first game played, and Treasure Beach at the rock bottom after 2 games played. All right. Yes. So that's it for the big bad JPL. The big bad JPL. All right. It's more promising for Grim to add World Cup 2026 to his resume with the Reggae Boyz. Okay, that's Triple E. Kemar says, but I still believe Mount Pleasant can retain the title. I think they are the favorites to do so. Danica said, JD, look out for Montego Bay with the launch of the Brazilians. Yes, that's what I'm saying. They're already up there. So that tells you. Omar Fowling said, JD, Tapat need to prove himself outside. Yes, to raise his profile, yes. Coach Hyde says he needs some better centre backs for his system. Yes, I do believe that. JD, Tapa struggled to speak English. He's not ready for international ball. Alright guys, we have 110 people in the building. So could we take a little break right there, 40 minutes in, after smoking revelations, to get the likes up to 100, you know, and then we aim to 200, and then you never may know, we might stay up late tonight to give you a little Manning Cup content, because the people say they like our flair and our education for football, you know, even though it might irk a lot of the people in good positions in Jamaica, but sometimes they need to be irked for you to know. Yeah, I will not use that word. That word never came up well, you know. Yes, so I will leave that alone. Top of the morning to each and everyone. Michael Thomas, massive respect. No, they played last night. Okay, they played last night. Okay. So they are on a point. Okay, yes. Thank you. All right, massive respect. Yes, because I knew I heard Dre in the weather. He only comments when it's actually Harbour View. So I was surprised that they are not adding it. So which other teams played last night? To add to the numbers, let me know. All right. If you're rewatching it, let me know which other teams played and what are the scores. Okay. And the website need to do much better in order to keep up to date with what's going on. Mount Pleasant are the favorites for the JPL, JD. They have a big squad. Okay. That's why I said it's more promising for Grim to stay. Okay. Thanks for the news. Shanil Thomas, Messi as a good call-up for Grim. Alright, we're going to get straight into that. I'm going to open the panel so people could come in and speak, but I wanted to look at the other games to come, alright, because we have a few games. We have a few other games for the countryside. We have Clarendon College versus Christiana. We wanted to just go and talk about 4 of these games. Then we get into building our squad for the Guatemala game. That is the final part. All right. Big up yourself, Shakpo. Hope all is well with you and the family. Clarendon College, Christiana. Think Clarendon College will get it together. This will be tomorrow at 3. So these are different days. But obviously maybe I don't get a chance to cover this tomorrow because of other games playing and stuff. Alright. And maybe I will be busy as well. Christiana, I think Clarendon College will baptize Christiana tomorrow in the name of Jesus. Alright, yes, they are going to baptize them tomorrow to show the people that they are still good, because a lot of people out here questioning the ability of the great CC, the real CC. Alright, I think they are going to reconstruct Christiana's parts tomorrow. So look out for that one, people. Alright, yes, the reconstruction will happen tomorrow. Alright, yes. I will go with they finally get over 3 goals in this last set of big games. So I will go 4-1, a whole heap of goal tomorrow. Alright, so guys, we have opened the Discord, so you could come in and give your say for the rest of the show. Alright, what say you on that one, guys? Yeah, man, yeah. Osh Puppy, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. Yeah, man. Omar Fowlin says 2-0 CC. So you think the reconstruction will not be in the manner as to what I've said. Okay, all right, no problem. All right, Glenmuir, Manchester. Ooh, this one is a big one. Glenmuir, Manchester. What say you guys? Glenmuir, Manchester. What say you guys? Glenmuir, Manchester. What are you guys saying? This one is going to be a good one, you know. I think we are going to learn a lot about this one, you know, people. All right, Glenmuir, Manchester. I am going for Glenmuir. I think Glenmuir is going to win it. It's not going to be a bigger scoreline as to what I just said. In the department of Clarendon College reconstructing, Christiana, Glenmuir will pump Manchester 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. Glenmuir will win this one. Glenmuir will continue their good run. Alright, 2-1. Alright, Travis says, JD, Veer 2, Tivoli 1, final score last night. Thank you, thank you. Alright, so I will update that. I will find a different site that can give me accurate updates. Alright, yes. CC, Triple E says 4-1 CC, so you pick the same scoreline as me. Jason says 3-0 because he wants to be different to say that he got all of it right and get all of the goals, you know. Yes, Triple E 2-1 Glenmuir. That is the same thing I've said. And Jason says 1-0 because he wants to say that he's a prediction king, but he's not going to win it. He has been losing for a good while now, consecutive, back to back to back to back. All right, yes. He's gonna come fighting soon. Oh Lord, yeah, man. All right, so this is the link for this card. Yes, Garvey, BB Cook. Hold on, I've not said anything as yet. I've not even talked about it. BB Cook, fluid football. Can play rigid from time to time. Garvey Masia only play one level football. Yeah, only one level football. Yes. BB Cook will be beating Garvey Masia tomorrow. 2-0. I've said it here first. Because they must come out when Garvey scoring them first. And Garvey seems to have range of shooting as well. Alright, so Garvey beating the bricks off, BB Cook beating the bricks off Garvey tomorrow. Alright, yes, when it happens, come back here. And then you will learn. BB Cook, the dark horse. Yes, I do agree, Travis. But they said that I'm bad-minding Garvey myself, you know? Yes. Glenmuir 3-2. That's what I wanted to go with, you know. Omar, that's what I wanted to go with. Fabian Full said, JD, stop hating on my school. Garvey to the world. Okay, well, don't send me to watch the games then. Alright? Yes. And Jason come out now. What he said now. Let me see what he said here. Because I don't even see his comment. Let me know. I need to take away this art right here. Don't know why YouTube does something like that. 1-1, he said 1-1. Okay, no. 2-0. All 2 goals going to BB Cook. Yes. Clarendon College to the world. Take forward. Alright, massive respect. Alright, so let me go see if we can get in the rest of the games then. Alright, so we have Dintil versus Cornwall College, another CC team. Alright, and that is the final game, guys. And that is the final game. That is the final game for the 2 days. Okay, so we have Dintil versus Cornwall College. Cornwall College showed some quality against CC. But I am not really sold as yet. I am going to say that Dintil takes it 2-1. 2-1 Dintil. 2-1 Dintil, guys. Yes, I will not say that one. Take forward because they will done me on the internet. Alright, so that's it for the Manning and Dacosta Cup predictions. So when I'm right, which I know I am going to be right, yes, you guys come back and give me my credit with a like on the video. Alright, thanks for that, people. Let me move on to picking the Jamaica Reggae Boyz best 23 players, you know, for this window. All right, we are going to be playing this game on the 11th, which is Saturday. So most of the players them that will be playing games on the 10th, makes no sense them coming to the camp. So I think everyone that's playing game before that will be available. So I think it's majority of the USL players and the local players. So we want to look at the best 24 that could give us something out of the Guatemala game. All right, and for the Guatemala team, it's going to be stronger than what people said. All right, yes, because I've checked them and they have a lot of players that are available to them, you know, because we would have wanted our Damian Lowe's and stuff, but they are not going to be available. So Damian Lowe will not be available. Andre Blake, Kevin Lambert will not be available. Yes, we might can get a few, you know. We might can get Javian Brown. We might can get Alvas Powell, you know. And we can get a few more players, guys. We can get a few more players. So let me go through the depth pool. All right, Ashton Bennett. Is that the goalkeeper? Okay, all right. All right. So let me go through the team. We're gonna get some players on the board. We know about 4 players. Guys. So we're gonna do our research and get up the rest of the players then. All right. I don't know Omar Fowling. I can just go through who I think would be the sensible picks based on the timing, you know. Yes, and then let me see when it's named how close we are as to who was selected. All right, so going in ASAP, the teams then that I would be looking on would have been Mount Pleasant, because Mount Pleasant started very good. That's one team. Cavaliers, because Cavaliers have done well in the tournament, so that's 2. All right, Arborview I would look at as well. So teams that are in their good stead, I would go with first before anything else. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull up these teams. Okay, Ashton Bennett. Okay, Ashton Bennett is a top striker, SBF. Okay, no. We ain't picking nobody from this, brother. All right, let me just stick to what's going on. Let me put in Cavaliers. All right, so Cavaliers team. Let me see who we can get off this team to come and represent the team. We have 4 players already, which are the 4 players them coming in from switchback. All right, so that makes 4 out of possible 20 to 23 players. All right, so I think it could have gone to 20 players. All right, yes. So let we go right here. So for Cavaliers, let me tell you who I would put on this damn team. All right, I would want centre backs, full backs, striker, midfielders. That's what I'm looking for. All right. And deeper line midfielders, because we brought 2 attacking midfielders from switchback. Pretty much 3, because even Romario is a central forward attacking midfielder, striker type player. Yes, so you need deep line midfielders. So Shaquille Bradford, that's from Arborview. You couldn't put him in. Joshua Anglin, Priestley. Those are 2 players that could have come into the mix. So Anglin and Priestley could have come into the mix because they are defensive central. But aside from that, that's about it. I think Priestley, I would pick over Joshua Anglin, to be honest. I would put Priestley over Joshua Anglin, to be honest. Shaniel Thomas. Thomas, yes, he would go in my team, even though I have so much strikers and attacking midfielders. I would put him in based on how he played. Yes. Kyle Ming, I would put in my team as well. So Kyle Ming and Shaniel Thomas, Those are 2 I would add to my team. So that would make 6 players so far. Christopher Ainsworth. He wouldn't play any left back position. He wouldn't play that. I think in midfield. I think I would have brought this kid, you know. I would have brought Ainsworth, you know. What say you guys? Let me know. I would have brought Ainsworth. He would have been the kid that I would have brought out of all the kids. Yes. Ainsworth would have been the kid that I would have brought there. What say you guys? So I would have picked Javani Leng. I would have kept him on reserve. So I would have put Kyle Ming, Shaniel Thomas, Christopher Ainsworth. Javani Leng would have gone on reserved for me. Alright, so I would have taken 4 players, 3 players directly from Cavaliers, and then 1 on the backup sheet. Alright, and 1 on the backup sheet. Alright, yes. So with that said, that means we have 7 players so far. Joshan Anglin will get called because the coach think that he's one of the best players in Jamaica, which I don't believe so. ED Football, big up yourself, man. Thanks for it, man. Weekend, join us. We are going to be covering the World Cup, Youth 17s. Alright, so I would take these players off Cavaliers team. So let me add them in. Shaniel Thomas, Ainsworth, Kyle Ming, Leng. Alright. So Ainsworth would be a midfield type player. Alright. But he could be a hybrid that can play wing, right wing, left wing back and stuff and all of those things. Talented kid. Talented kid. Alright. So let me add them in our system. Let me type in Maggie. So we'll put Maggie in our squad. Damn. Midfielder. Maggie. Beckford. Beckford. Romario. Williams. Alright. And you have Devon Williams here. So Williams. Alright, so that's 4 already. And then in Kyle Ming would be one of the players them added to the list here. We have heard that King would be added to the list right there. We have heard that Tope would be added to the list right here. Jesus God. Alright, so that's what we have heard so far, and I am putting in more players as we go. Thomas goes in one of the spots them. Ainsworth would have made a midfield spot for me. Phillips will make the team because Phillips makes every team. So he will make the team in midfield so far. So the team is coming together properly. Alright, the team is coming together properly. Oh, Jason is he's in the chat. Oh, he's in this here. Yes, Jason.
No, I was just saying, like how Pittsburgh drop out, probably Jamali Waite will be there.
Okay, so you're giving us a goalkeeper. Alright, so Waite will be our number 1. Yeah, nice. Alright. How are you doing, Mr. Jason? Get involved. What you want to say of all my braggadocious comments?
So far, I don't think you have missed anyone that I would have put. I heard you say when you said Thomas, you were talking about Ricardo.
No man. Shaniel Thomas, man. I hear me bring.
Okay.
Him a Jamaican.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay. Sure. Let me put Esther Thomas then.
And you have heard that Topi will be added, or you're just thinking he will be added?
Yes, that's what Leader told me. And I tend to believe that Leader is the management of these players. So for me to say that,
if it's a team that has a chance for the local base, then I'm sure Leader is involved, because I think everybody in Jamaica see him as the best talent evaluator because they listen to him. So
Yes. People, please, Are we at 100 likes as yet? Because if I ever look down and see 50 likes, amount of thump and kick I'm gonna give some people in the chat. You know? Sure, man, big up yourself.
Mount Pleasant, and anybody that watch Mount Pleasant a lot, what you guys think of Rudolph Alston nephew, Gawain Austin?
We were doing it by teams, you know. We just took out some of the Cavaliers teams just to make up our numbers, and then we can move on to Harborview if we saw anyone, because we're making our team, Jason, and then in the end we never said that we work for JFF or we are leader.
No. So what happened? That's what them call we agent down there?
No, nobody calling us agent. I'm just saying we don't have to get it exactly spot on. We are just looking at what we have evaluated.
Yeah. This is more based on, well, I am going to be basing what I say off of my evaluation. I'm not trying to figure out what they're gonna do.
Yes, that's the conversation me that try having, you know, so me don't know.
Yeah, man.
When you try find a 60 man down the road, and you know, me a business, yeah, man. So Christopher Ainsworth, would you give him a call up for Jamaica? Because I think he is one of the best young kids in Jamaica.
Yes, I would have him in this squad for sure, because you know, we've seen lately in the main team there's always 1 or 2 slots for some very young, trying to give them experience. So he would be one of mine that I'm giving experience, and to be honest, he might be more experienced than some of the players that they call.
So Ainsworth made it in the team, people. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players so far. That's a good start. So go over to Harborview, Jason. Are you adding any one of the midfielders for Cavaliers, because they have to be creating something for them to be this good?
You know, to be totally honest, none of the midfielders really jump out to me. I mean,
okay.
You know, to me, their emphasis is on the back line and the quick transitions to the wingers and the forwards. So I don't really see their midfield in the game so much, to be honest.
Okay, so you're not putting none of them in it. All right, no problem.
No, I don't see any. Maybe, you know, I don't see any.
All right, so let me move over to the big bad Harborview. Obviously they got a club in, but some people say that they like how Harborview plays football, so they tend to believe that they could get a few players in. So sorry, the coach last time said that Anglin and those guys, King and those guys were the best players in the country. Totally disagree with him, but would you see a case where Anglin comes back in?
If I am picking a team, I would not put him in.
Okay.
I have more time for his midfield partner. I mean, some people say they don't like that he don't run around the pitch fast and thing, but I think he's more composed. I think he's better on the ball and make better decisions, and I think he
Priestley right.
Midfield better. Yeah, Kasim Priestley.
Okay. Yeah, because I mentioned him, I think that he's
a lot of times I hear them say that Anglin is young, but Priestley is only 22. He's young as well, so you know, that's not really the argument. But yeah, for me, aesthetically, what me like in my midfielder, I kind of prefer Priestley's game. I think Anglin just needs to get some more composure. I mean, he has some physical abilities. He's very athletic. Has a very strong shot. But, you know, I need more out of my midfielder. And so at times, he leaves me wanting with his decision making.
Okay. Well, I prefer not to speak on this play, you know. Yeah, but I agreed that I would pick Priestley every day of the week, you know, because what football entails today favors him, you know. So no might, it just favors him. I will not talk about the next one. Christopher Ainsworth is the best Jamaican youth player. I would not disagree with that, Brendan. Yes, barn player at this point. I would say yes, he's better than all of the young players them under 21.
JD,
under 20.
How is it that Ainsworth has not represented us at youth level?
Because he's at Cavaliers, operating in all sorts of leagues. You have to remember, Remember, he went to the last tournament the last time, and he's playing the Premier League. Then he comes into this tournament. So what time he truly got to represent the youth competition? Them, and remember, there was youth competitions.
No, I'm not talking schoolboy. No, I'm talking like Jamaica under 17 or under 20 or.
Yeah, but remember, you have to remember that he's playing bigger league, so he believes that the JPL is better than under 17s and stuff. Maybe that's the advice he's getting. That's what I'm saying, because every time I am watching him play in a different competition, when under 17, 20 is going on, and he's playing big time positions as well.
If that is indeed true, that is something I would love to hear leaders say one day. Like they actually, his path, they didn't see that to be a part of his path. Because I would think that they would want him to be seen at those tournaments, because that's where the clubs are looking. I mean, I know they're looking at Cavalier in the Caribbean Cup as well, but that's just more exposure for the kid. But I guess he can't pick himself. Maybe he never get picked. I don't know.
I don't think he never got picked, because when a youth 17 is playing, this man is playing for Cavaliers, Jason. Already. When U20s pick, he was playing for Cavaliers already. You understand me? So they know him. They know the quality of the player. And remember, most of these people, they are the ones recommending players. So it must be something either he doesn't want to play, or they don't see it necessary for him to play. Which I do agree. But maybe if we had made it to the World Cup now, he would have played, Well, that sounds a way. Let me give some people some bless up. Richie, Raya, big up yourself. Sherman Scott, Idris, big up yourself. Then we have Sports Prophecy. J Taylor, go and support him over there. Big up J Taylor. We have Brain Jail with the super chat, says Chris Ainsworth is the best Jamaican youth player. I would agree with you, but I don't know who is advising him to not turn up at these U20 tournaments when you have big ballers in those U20 tournaments. Yes, so you should get some better advisors. Fire Mr. Speed. Fire leader. Take up your parents them to give you advice. Yes, because you need to make these competitions. You're a quality footballer, sir. So Ainsworth makes my team for me. And Ainsworth isn't in the next U20 either as well, Jason. So what if you don't see him in the next U20s? What would you say? And Jason, what would you say?
I wouldn't understand it. I mean, if he has the age, send the kid there.
Okay.
Send the kid there.
So what if they have a competition coming up and they want to win the 250,000 US dollars? And he will be exposed in the Concacaf Champions League. That's not the point?
So you are saying, so I mean, are we creating a scenario that won't happen? Like, do we know that the fixtures are at the same time, or are we just?
No, we don't know, but I assume that we're gonna have games in the same time when that qualifier is playing. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up them right after, but I don't have to even question if we are gonna have games at the same time. So what would you say if he's not in it?
I mean, I would be so in it. But based on his track record so far, as I was kind of leaning towards maybe the kid does not getting picked for these teams, and you are saying that there's no possible way he must be getting picked and deciding not to play. So based on that, then I think he will play because he hasn't played before. But I think that would be a little shocking. I mean, even there were players. You remember after the last U20, we had players that got contracts overseas, and in the letters of the clubs when they signed them, they literally said, "Seen playing, had 3 caps."
Yes, true.
It's that thing that if that's why they wouldn't send him, because they want him to be seen, he's gonna be seen just the same with the Jamaica team. So I don't if one would be better than the other. I don't feel like.
So you want me to call and ask? If you want me to call, we can call and ask them why he has not represented Jamaica. Are they trying to sell him to a different country or something? I am just asking, because if this man ain't playing for Jamaica, we have to start asking questions when this kid is turning up in bigger games.
It's a bit shocking, honestly.
Okay, they said they need an answer, so I should call leader. Let me see if I can call leader.
Leader now answer.
No, I've not called him as yet, so I will not lie on the man.
No, yeah, that's why I said, you know, because he's somebody that come in these.
Yeah, man, leader is honest.
Like, when I see him, I was asking the question, like,
I will call him now. I will call him now and see if I can get him. Tell him that I'm online. Yeah. He knows that I'm online. People, smash the like button, share and subscribe, you know? In that time that we're trying to get information. Good morning, Mr. Leader.
What's happening?
I don't know. We are online. Would you? Are you available to speak? Are you available to speak on one of your players? Or you're busy?
Yeah, man, I can go on.
All right. So let me plug you back in because you have to deal with respect. You know, principle comes first. So good morning, Mr. Leader. How are you doing? Oh, life. How much money you made over the last couple months? Because your players and Cavaliers have been going on wicked. A whole heap of millions waiting on you. So how are you feeling?
I wish I owned the club.
Okay. So what are you trying to say? Mr. Speed is gonna get a lot of money. All right. We're gonna call him and ask him how that millions will be spent. Yes. So leader, we had some situations where we want to ask about this dude because you said we would put him in the national team now, and to be honest, I do believe that he deserved to be called up over a lot of other people that was called up in the past. Straight up, because I think that he grew himself into that position of respect over numerous competitions of higher quality than the Manning Cup. What would you say about Christopher Ainsworth? And then now the follow-up is, why haven't he played for 17s, 20s, and at the same time we saw him playing in other competitions around the Caribbean at the same time?
Okay, let me answer that. That's an easy question there on Ainsworth. Ainsworth, we're speaking about which team first? It's the current team that they selected, Jamaica team?
Yes, just why? Because people complain that he has been on the radar for the longest time, playing higher level football than everybody that's getting picked for the national team. So why he never made a U20s, a U17s?
Okay, and let me just go through the U17s first. He would have been just in the same boat as maybe a Whisper when he would have been eligible for under 17, just a little bit too old.
Okay, right? Just a little bit old.
Okay, because when under 17s normally start, it's every 2 years. So every now and again, you have certain players that get left out of the system because of when they were born. Right? Okay, so meaning that when it's every 2 years, okay? So say a player that this the under 17s now that was just played, those players are 17 in 2024. So say for that set there, he just turned 18, so he's 1 year older than that team.
Okay.
Understand? The under 17s that just participate. So he was just a little bit that 1 year odd year too old for that team. And sometime back, I think the year before, for the under 20s now, he would have been 1 year a little bit too young at the time. Right? You know, well, and he did go, to be honest, and the coaches didn't look at him. I'm going to be honest.
The coaches never looked at him.
They never look at him. I'm going to be honest, straight up. Because I won't hide that one. The coaches did not look at him. They had ideas of who they wanted.
So hold on there. So remember, when that game they're playing, that under 20s, Cavaliers are playing in an international competition, and he was playing, So how you work out that then? How you work out that? How can he make Cavaliers team but was not good enough to make the under 20s?
You'd have to ask the coach, a national head coach for that team. He would have picked his team who he felt was ready. So I think that is Fuzzy's call. I can beat him on him call. If he feels that who he wants is who he wants, I can't beat him on that. That's the national coach.
So he was not picked for U20s then, basically?
No, the same way Whisper wasn't picked. So let's see what happens. He's going to be in the next under 20, just like Whisper.
So he's going to be in this under 20s? That's what you say?
The next one coming up, yes, that's basically John Wall is in charge of that. And I can tell you, the three big names in that team is going to be Whisper, Romain Blake, and Ainsworth. Those are going to be the three big names that were locally produced. You're going to have a lot of other kids from the diaspora, though. But those three will easily hold their own.
All right, fair enough. All right, so for this squad now,
hopefully,
finish.
Well, let me just finish now. And for this squad here now, the under 20s are basically going to be called in shortly, and I think the position he was eligible, but I think it had to go down to visa issues why he didn't make it, and another. I should even let you know this one though, but I understand another left-sided Cavalier player.
Let out nothing,
another left-sided Cavalier player that plays left back, where Ainsworth plays anywhere
left-sided
in the middle,
yes, but he's a
right,
midfielder.
There's another player who is already at a overseas club that's being called into the Jamaica squad. Nobody knows about him as yet. So I just gave you an exclusive.
Okay, so you're saying busy them coming back in the team. That's what you say?
I didn't say busy. Okay. I said a left-sided left.
Oh, defender. Okay. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
There are two of them, you know.
I know who you're talking about.
Know who. There are two. One is in Europe and one is in the USA.
Okay, well, I think it would be the one from USA. If it's the one from USA?
I can't say.
Alright, so in my ear, Jason. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna send you the link. We're gonna drop the link in the chat. So if you have time, you can come in the Discord if you want. Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Because through Jason in there and Jason talk and him can't hear you.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, let me come. Okay, put it there. Let me come in. I'll come in.
Alright, boss, respect.
10-15 minutes. Okay?
Alright, no problem. We know you're a superstar. Take your time. Alright. Alright, so let me drop the link. Jason, you will come in and say his piece. So you heard that, guys. They said that the under 20s will be Blake, Whisper, and Ainsworth in it. Yes, but the next.
So JD, you hear what him said about.
I heard what he said.
When you were leaning towards, they have a path for him and everything. I never believed that, brother. I was thinking that he does get overlooked, and leader kind of. Basically said that that's what happened. The coaches just decided to go in different directions. So,
all right. So people, you got it right there. They overlooked him and picked other persons over him. Then basically, yeah. Now that is shocking because he was playing for Cavaliers just the same as the others that were playing for Cavaliers that got picked because they're playing for Cavaliers. You understand?
JD, when you think about the players that didn't make that under 20, we could make a wicked 11 out of the players that didn't make it.
Yeah, but to be honest, a lot of the players that people said that should have made the under 20, I don't believe that they should, because certain positions was just too strong, Okay, and
I know. Why you say certain players? You're saying one player.
No, more than maybe 2 or 3 players that people said that should have made it. I wouldn't say so, but Ainsworth, because of his ability to play more than one positions, that's why I said that I think he had a better chance making it. Because look,
we took our injured left back to the U20.
That's what. But Jason, that's what me try to explain my side. But you not give me a chance. It is a cost me. All right, think. You have my brain. You have my brain. Take my brain, and think what me I think. Take it and keep your brain at the same time. And have 2 brain. Jason, have 2 brain.
We cost the system, man. Not you. We cost the system.
Yeah, man. All right, so we have. We have the great leader in the house. All right, yes, leader. Go ahead, Jason, now, because leader is here, so you can say what you're saying to him.
No, what I was asking leader was, could he divulge the country where the left back from Europe plays? Because I have an idea, but I don't know if you want to let that out.
Okay. No leader will always do his gimmicks and stuff, you know. Persons in the chat said it's Rochester. I think Rochester would be one that is available. Yes, I think that is exactly it. So, Boss Thomas, you got it correct. It is Rochester. Leader can't hide them stories there.
Yeah, because he's with Blake at Chicago, so they're both developing.
Yes. So, leader, are you hearing us, bossy? Your mic is still on, boss. Your mic is still on. And I saw next name with a D. I don't know who it is. With a baby face.
Mario Phillips.
McCallum J.
Oh, okay, it's McCallum. Okay, McCallum. Go ahead, leader, and then we bring in McCallum. Leader, Rochester, the people I'm saying I chat.
Well, if they call him, I don't think there'll be a problem because he's near in the US already. So it's going to be heavily biased to players that are not. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Can't say.
You can't say or you don't know. Those are two different things.
I can't say.
Okay, that sounds more like the truth there. Thank you.
All right. So McCollum, go ahead so we can bring back leader in because we wanted to go through the rest of the squad to get some players off the other teams them. But yeah, go ahead, McCollum, because I want to ask leader this question right after because I have a different belief on this player, But go ahead, McCollum.
Yeah, morning. I just come in, I just catch a show. I just come from work, so I just catch a show and I decided to say I was a jump on.
Okay.
Leader, I see a half a tree in a leader, you don't answer me, Was talking to you, you never answer me.
I'm sorry about that one. Sorry.
Yeah, but another, I was wondering what this squad list look like, and I would like to know your opinion on how the squad look for the Guatemala game.
But that's exactly what we do, that's why we try pick leader brain.
Alright, so I will sit back and listen until then. I will chime in when I get this.
Okay, but you know it's not an international window, so you know that certain players are just out, and then certain players come in if you can make deal with them, because it's not an international window, so they are not committed to come nowhere. So even if they get knocked out of the MLS, they not have to come either too as well. You understand me? Yes. Yeah. You know those rules, all right. So if you don't see certain man turn up and them get knocked out, and them actually get picked for come, we can't beat them so much because you never know if a man feel like him need some rest days or something.
They are going to be affected as much as we are.
I don't beat players and I beat team performance.
Okay. Yeah, man. That's why I'm trying to. So leader. Out of you, Josh and Anglin, Priestley. You would have took any one of those midfielders in?
Yeah, man. No, man. Josh and Anglin for sure.
Jesus
100%
God.
Sure.
Oh my God. What you seeing this player, leader? Because I've watched this player 25 times, and the more I do watch him, is the more I don't actually want him in a team.
Look, okay. The thing is, let me tell you, for me, I have time for a player that is young. A lot of people don't realize that this guy here, I don't think he's not 23 yet, I think he's 22 still.
So, what age is Priestley?
No, Priestley is older than him. Priestley is in the region. Priestley is older though. Priestley about 25 or so, near that age. But so, for me, personally, I have more time for a player that is still fairly young in international.
Big Boss, Priestley at 20. Priestley is 22,
Thank you.
Priestley is 22. Me have it on the screen, And Josh and Anglin is actually 22, and yeah.
Well, boy, that one they slipped me then, because probably because I know Priestley for such a long time. It seemed like he has been around forever.
Yeah, I think he's better than Anglin by a good stretch still.
He's slow. No, his game is very slow. His game is too slow. He's very slow.
Or he's calculating, his brain cell is calculating and he judge where he wants to be. Which one of them?
Yeah,
either he's slow or he's just more educated in football.
He is an educated footballer, yes, but you are going to need a certain amount of natural pace that he's going to be exposed internationally. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, but I saw angling is very wild, and him not read the game.
He will learn.
Leader,
it's just for him to get into the right place and then teach him.
Okay.
People said that about Rudolph Aston some years ago, years and years ago,
Okay.
Rudolph Aston just wild. But look where he played. He played in England, a lot of places in Europe. And he, so don't look at that. Claude Davis, a lot of people don't remember that. Them say he's the wildest man out there. But Claude Davis, I think, when you look at his final time, he was one of the players that probably made the most money out of football because he has played for so many top teams in England.
Okay.
You understand? And everybody say him just wild.
Well, I saw this man. Leader, I saw him in all competitions, and I think he has been broken into his ways, just like what Sally's JPL I love to say. I think this kid has been broken into his own ways, and it's.
And honestly, that Claude Davis example, that is a byproduct of that time. So that type of football that would have worked back then, even in the championship, you're not seeing so many rash defenders and think all of these people can play football technical with their brain. So we need to start to look more towards that. I think for whatever reason, when we evaluate talent, the first thing we go to is the physical traits. But now I say we don't need them in a leader. But a lot of times, if you don't have that, you make up for it in other places. And we, for whatever reason, do not regard the education side as high as the physical. Why? Why we always have to go towards this man faster than this man, so I'm better than this man? That is so simple.
Look, it's not that you don't, What you try to do, okay, let me tell you this now. You can teach, if somebody, right, they can just run fast, you can teach them. Let me use a very good example. There's this, I'm going to an actual Cavalier player that I've seen, Colin Anderson. How many of you know this youngster 3 years ago, what he was like?
I saw him later in his career.
3 years ago,
Leader, before you finish, I think, again, you have to be mindful of the position on the pitch. When we're talking about midfielders, we need to stop picking tracks people in the midfield. The midfield is where the football is to be loved and kept. We need to place more emphasis on those traits because the game is about keeping the football sometimes. You cannot just have a track meet for 90 minutes every game. It don't work, leader.
Very true. Very, very true. But there's one thing. You can't teach pace. You can teach the game because Colin Anderson, 3 years ago, no Premier League club wanted him. I always make people know that when I saw Mr. Speed take him at Cavalier, if 2 months pass and I never tell Mr. Speed to run him, I would be lying. I was constantly saying, no, I'm not. But after a while, I saw him start to grow and he improved till, see where he is. So there's one thing, I'm not saying you need to have a certain football IQ. And
thank you very much.
You need it. And that is one of the things I hope.
But leader, what we want to chip in and say, leader, so angling not got enough places for you to actually see if him actually good enough on that learning side to say he's going to be what you think he could have turned out like a Rudolph Aston. I want to say yes. We saw him in the youth leagues. He just embarrassed the team in the CSC games. He was one of the worst players there. He comes back in his own club. He's not impressive over the others again. And we saw him. I just don't think as what Jason said, we're looking at the wrong things for certain parts of the field. Because what Priestley offers is exactly what you want in a midfield. Because sometimes just as you use a centre back, that one is actually more pacier than one. Because one is actually reading the game. Sometimes vice versa. Don't get it that because you're faster, you're more stupid. Not saying that. You get me? But so you can use the same combination. Rodri and those guys are not the most fastest players. Busquets is not the most fastest players. But they have technical ability and they are super smart in the game of football. And they are the ones that dictate the actual pace of the game. So I think we have to play those things into certain importance, because I have never seen him dictating any pace of any game. I saw a man playing an under 23 game.
He can't do that. He can't do
I under
that.
23 game, and the man can't retain the ball, and that's why he got the red card.
That's not his game. That's not his game. Him can't dictate. He cannot do that. I'm going to be honest. That's not his forte.
Yeah, so I would say if we're going to pick him, let me give Priestley an opportunity as well. You know, we have to be fair, because you never may know. He might be one of them that changes how this coach play football as well, too, because that's why I want some players that slower and want to work inside the engine room and dictate the pace. Win back the ball, dictate the pace in there. I just want to see more of those players. I'm tired of this 5-4-2, 2-2-2-2 run up and down madness. I just believe that is what's losing Jamaica. Good kids them at football. This bag of speed where. And the fastest team in a football is not the best team. Manchester City, Bernardo Silva, and this team players will kill you. Jack Grealish, them will kill you the whole that entire day. But you see an next man that is very fast. He had 5 goals contribution in one game. But you have to. He plays slow as well. That's Doku. He plays slow. He slows the game down and then dictate the pace. So this Gono without any control in the third, I think that is it's going to fail Jamaica. It's going to fail Jamaica football. So hopefully the education side does clash in fast with Mr. Speedman do. Congratulations to them. So we actually start picking the right players then, because that's why we have all our Ainsworth not being looked at the same type of player, because he's trying to think the game out. But people ain't looking at that. They want people running up and down without thinking, you know?
I don't think it's that he's not being looked at. I think they know of him, but they're going to be using him. I suppose they say, okay, under 20 coming up in another week or so. So I guess, I can't say much, but his time is coming. And he's going to surprise a lot of people, especially because a lot of people don't know him from schoolboy football, because he's basically stopped playing that for literally 2 years now easily.
All right,
so James surprised a lot of people.
James Smith said Anglin is a defensive mid. They don't usually dictate the pace. I don't see Latinbody here dictating the pace. James, almost every defensive midfielder today dictate the pace of the game. Almost every damn one of them in world football today, they are the ones that dictating the pace. And that's why they're spending so much money on them.
Can I say something to that point?
To that point, me personally, I have never seen Latibo there as a center defensive midfielder. So any kind of knock him for that position, I totally agree with, because I don't think he should play there. He's not a CDM.
Okay.
The coach is using
Solid.
a stop gap,
Solid, come in.
Person is ready. Okay, that's all I can say. The coach using him as a stop gap for a while. Okay.
Yeah. So you see the Anglin now, JD, and big up to everybody, Leader and J.S. Guna. They fall into this group of players for me where it's more or less the mental. It's Jonah Fleming, Lamar Walker, Damian Lowe. This is why I like Richard King. The first time I saw him, he was just more composed, and I thought that was new for me. Like you wasn't seeing that a lot. Richard King wasn't in a rush to get rid of the ball, and do something rash. I saw Anglin playing. He gets rash. He gets confused. It's like there's a part where the neurons them in them brain just stop fire. At some point, it just happens. Junior Fleming, they do what I always say, they do the wrong thing at the right time. They're very good at that. Like I don't know how to. It has to be mental. For me, I think it's mental. When you see them turn over the ball, where they just pass the ball in a space where nobody there. Damian Lowe, Damian Lowe, Junior Fleming, and Anglin, they have this skill of passing the ball in areas where nobody, not even the other team, have no player there. So that's just my take on those players. I just think that those guys are light years behind to develop.
Let me say something quickly. The current coach tells you about it, that even when you try to coach them to play a certain way, when they are in a panic situation, they go back to what they are used to. So even when you might have them putting the ball on the ground and putting it around, when they're in a rush situation, they're going just do one thing: launch it. And that sort of thing, because I heard somebody the other day was talking about I think Butler. And Butler said, oh, he wants it. Butler basic thing is to launch it and I get everybody behind it. So it's a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of the coaches out here, I don't know. I'm hoping that the new academy is able to, as I said, they are working with the younger kids to get that out of them. The only problem is when some of these kids do go back to some of the other coaches, they teach them another thing. So it's just one thing. It's the education that the guys have, learning what to do.
All right. So do we recommend? So we are gonna bring him just the same. We are gonna add him on the list. And obviously, Travis Pessoa and James, they have split on our take. No problem. Well, he's going to be one of the players them that we're going to be watching, and we're going to get a next opportunity to see him. All right, because it looks like he's a light Jamaican player, and it's hard to tell people about the players them when they are light. You can't reason it out. It's not rational anymore. You can't see anything. So we have to just leave time for tell it tales. And that's not saying that we want the player to be bad. But naturally, if you're not that good as to what you are, other people describe, they tend to can repeat that feat. So we will learn soon. All right. So we will learn soon on the player. But the best to him, I know Drainy Weather will be upset because he's an Harbourview player. But we are talking about a next Harbourview player to get in the spot over him. So it's not like we're just trying to put a foreign man over the player. I'm saying that I saw an ex-player that maybe offers something that can improve our football, but we are not looking at them because we naturally look at certain traits in Jamaica. And how much other players we let under the crack because we kept on looking at speed. And when I'm watching football at the highest level, nobody now coming and talk about, oh, you need to be 100% fast. I saw the best coaches them. Look at, let me give you a story before we go anywhere. Thomas Muller. They said he's not fast. He can't pass the ball the best. He does everything okay, but nothing great. And Alphonso Davis, one of the fastest players to ever play football, literally said when he came here he couldn't understand what this guy does, but he said the man brain is like light years ahead of everybody because he's in the position before you were big and fast can reach the position. You know why? Because he has read what you are doing 60 times before. So you're gonna run up and down all you want, but you're not as bright as him on the football pitch. And Thomas Muller is down as one of the greatest players to ever play football. And it's one of the fastest players telling you that. So I think that's a good example, leader, for we to look at. So sometimes we don't have to learn it in a book, but we can just listen to the other players them talk about football. And it's not the way we keep on trying to go of this pace and power thing. Because remember, every single time we get a team that passed the ball. Look at Wathouse the other day when they played Pacific. Wathouse was fast, very fast, right? They were very powerful solids. And you see, once the Pacific complained about the pitch solids. And they said, no, but once it goes to Canada, it's going to be a little bit different because the way we can handle the pitch, this slope thing, and it can't work. So we can't utilize, we can't calculate when the ball is going to reach because we can't trust it. Yeah. A 6 Wathouse get solids. And if
I think I brought that up to you, and you point out that though they were very high octane and intense in their style of play, you talked about the other team neutralizing them regardless of their physicality or their physical play. So you're right. I think technique a lot of time, because I think when you run out of energy, and muscle memory, I think technique takes over at some point. You know, when you run up and down and the adrenaline done and over energy burnout, it has to go back to your fundamentals.
And
can you play?
JT, like you just said, when you run up and down, it go back to what you actually think. So that's the reason why you saw them doing these big wild challenges, because in the CSE games, it's when he was tired. That was very early in the game because he was chasing the ball. He's trying to dictate the pace and couldn't get on the ball because the Guatemalan guys them were so superior at passing the football. They ain't running fast. But they're getting in the position, picking up, dropping off, picking up, and just playing rings around him. And he got tired and frustrated. And he started to kick down people.
Oh my God.
The game is on the channel. The game is on the channel. The game is on our channel, JPL. It's on our channel. You can just go there and look at it, and see for yourself.
Okay. I'm going to check it out.
That game, I think Brandon covered show him up as well.
Yes, because Brandon covers just turning, dropping off, reading the game, picking up the position.
All the games.
A lot of people are calling for Brandon covers, but I don't think he's not ready yet. I don't think guys should really rush it. He's not the finished product. He's a good kid, but
if you're comparing it, JT, out of Brandon covers are angling, I think every day on planet Earth, covers going over him. Every day on planet Earth.
Not even water buckle angling them not care for my team, them brother.
Alright, JT, boy, I want to take it. Yeah, go ahead.
Covers is playing right back at the moment. So Covers change position for a couple of games now. He's playing right back.
He's just filling in. I don't think he has the legs to do it still, but let's see. You know?
Everybody seem to forget the value of players that are considered slow, but their football acumen is at a level beyond what our big, fast, and strong players have. The speed that, and I'm going to use somebody that we probably use as example too frequently, but because he's always there.
Yes, I made the point fast because I want to bring back something, because I have James Smith and Technic pose some questions that we need to read out as well. Alright, so go ahead, Pastor.
Damian Lowe, because of his speed, people would say he recovers well. But the reason he needs to continue to have to rely on recovering well is that he doesn't read the game in a timely manner, as well as when Liam Moore joined the Jamaica team, it literally showed up what our players, even though they were considered fast, really just don't have. And the saying that say you don't teach old dog new tricks is literally kicking the coach in his face, because he keeps selecting these players based on who is in his ears chiming that they are top players and they are good players and they are worthwhile working with, rather than picking the players that have football education, have the experience to know that it is better to be in the position than to be running to the position. If you can read the game, you will never be able, you will never be out of the game. Everybody makes mistakes, but if you can read the game properly, you will never be out of the game. And too many times our Jamaican players are out of the game simply because they are relying on their physical attribute. There's no mental application to the football.
All right. What the point right here? What the point right there,
team like that.
Pastor, what the point here? Solids, yesterday I asked you a question, and I never knew that it would have been the biggest talking point on the internet. And we were doing the video live. When I asked you, what would be your approach? Will I eyeline or see the problem coming? Go on all of the big platforms and see if that are the talking points for Tottenham versus Chelsea, because there some people saying that Pastor Koglu was mad, and some people praising him, and the fans actually like it because he actually used 8 outfield players but be effective to create chances. So, and you answered it well, because a lot of people like Watchalong and Alaweo, they said that was one of the highest lines they have seen in their life. So they are not happy with it. But you said you wouldn't hold the line because you want to see the problem coming at you so you could deal with the problem. But we just want to drop that in, if make your ears solid, say the point we were talking about, it become the talking point of the whole internet yesterday. And we saw it live. And it goes back to football education because he had a strategy how to get into traffic and dictate the play into traffic. And I want to say that it worked to a certain extent because they could have gotten goals, or they got goals, but it was chalked off. So I think football education is more important than what people giving credit for. And I'm not going to have this conversation too long because I might just get a call and it mash up the whole show again like the last time. So let me just go through the comment section. People have 166 in house. Get us to 150 likes as fast as possible. Subscribe to the channel, share, and give your takes. S-Technic says, as slow as Anthony Grant was in the Jamaica midfield, he was our best CDM in a long time, as old as he was. A lot of people would say so, and I would still agree to a certain extent that he did what he did as the type of player he is. But this is the question that this is what the statement that James made. Algrimson is looking for players to fit the Jamaica's context. We have to look at angling in the Jamaican context, not European club teams. He don't lose the ball easy. Why Algrimson like him? Alright, James, and he said angling is much better than cover and is more experienced. Well, he has not shown that none of the games that I've watched, James Smith. So I will wait until I do get that game that you're talking about, and he has to do it more consistent. Because every time I saw covers, which I agree to JPL, I might not ready for this level because you need the reps in. But I can say that he's better than him. So at what level this guy is truly at? You understand? But it's okay. It's fair. Michael Salah said that is it, JD. The mind should be faster than the man running. Yes. No man, but James give his point and it's okay. He's saying the context of what the coach doing. Alright, what the coach is doing, what we know the coach doing at this point. Leader, he's using more box-to-box midfielders that can tackle and actually progress the ball and dictate the pace. That's what he actually wants to lead towards. And that's why we liked Anderson so much, because Anderson give you a defensive presence, passing from range, and still get to the forwards as well to close the gap. By your same statement, James, he is not that dude. He does not give you those traits. None of those traits he gives you. So by your same argument, he does not fit that mold. So unless we can teach him, so I will wait to see, because as I said, he can learn. Yeah. So what say you, Jason and leader on that conversation? Because he said he's looking for players to fit that mold. So do you see him as that player to fit that mold for the coach? What you saw from the coach so far?
Yeah, I don't think that he made the point about him not losing the ball. I wouldn't say that Jashan Anglin is a ball retention player. I think he tries to find the diagonal pass and tries to make the home run pass pretty much every time. So I don't really agree with that statement about him not losing the ball easily. I think he just tries to hit the home run pass, like the long ball. That is pretty much what he does with the football most of the time. I mean, he will recycle from time to time, but I wouldn't say that he's a ball retention player. So I'm not sure if James Smith is totally correct in his assessment there.
All right. Yeah, man. So that's how we look at it. This is a good conversation. That's what I wanted. People just give their take. So I do welcome James, Travis, and everyone that's give conversation, so we can go back and look and come back to the conversation with more education as well. Because we don't know everything, but it's what we assess on the players them, and it's why we can give a take,
Well, look here.
Yeah, go ahead, leader.
My quick point is that you said you hit it on the nail on the head, with oh gosh, you just mentioned his name. He was there for the last set of games, man.
Brandon Cover?
Oh. No,
Anderson.
Anderson.
Oh,
yes, Anderson. Kerai Anderson is the complete thing that would suit Concacaf. But he's still young. I can tell you, and I've been telling people this, that when Hal Grimson is gone, he has already basically started to put a team together for the next 8 years. And I can tell you, Anderson is going to be the one that's going to be that holding that role eventually, right? But not, I can tell you, for now, whenever we need someone, because there'll be times when you won't have some of these guys, so you need an alternative. So I guess that's one of the reasons they are trying to invest and see if Anglin can somehow come, deliver something by now, because I think it's about 3 different Jamaican coaches has been selected him, That I know this current coach has selected him. Tapa Whitmore had selected him, and I think when Merangan had the team a little, he had also said so. It's not they see something there, and that's why I think they are going to try with him for a while. After a while, his time is going to be up, right? But for now, he is still getting a chance. Because we have seen some players had a lot of chances, and we have to look at it now. For him to be 22 now, I was saying he has been in the Jamaica setup for about 4 years now.
Yes.
It's about 4 years now. This guy has been in the setup.
Yeah.
So they publicly said we have invested in him. Let's see, give him a couple more chances and see if it pays off.
James, follow again. James, follow up to say right here. People, please do it like when we are on 100. Let me go to 150. At least we have more than 150 people here. James said, JD, like Russell, Anderson looks worse the more he plays for Jamaica. He isn't ready. If you tell me that your player that you're trying to rally for is better than Anderson, I am telling you, brother, you lost, brother. You lost. And you say Anderson look worse the more he plays. No. You're wicked, brother. Oh my God, man.
Daddy.
Wow.
But Daddy,
go ahead.
Miss, I would like to say, tackle what Mr. James is saying. Mr. Smith is saying. Mr. Russell, last game that he played for Jamaica, he scored a goal and he was brilliant in that match because he played a little 2 friendlies and he did not look up to par. Everybody write him off. But Mr. Russell can come in and do a job for this midfield. I think if we could get a partnership with him and Mr. Anderson, that would be the best Jamaican midfield possible for me.
For the type of players they are. Yes, I actually believe you have a point there, But it would have needed time to work, because Russell could have added defensive presence, but also have the ability to go forward, because he's not the best defender. But he still offers defensive presence in blocking lanes and also tackling as well to some extent. And his passing range is better than most of these players that we are. Guys, remember, it's a comparison, is what we are talking with, Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
So, what I think Mr. Johnson doesn't provide in our midfield is that tackling presence. I think Mr. Russell would do better there. But the passing of Johnson is out of this world. So it would be kind of conflicting. But either one of those 2 players, if Mr. Anderson is in that midfield, the defensive presence of what Mr. Anderson provides will be enough for me. I think if we can get a partnership with those 3 players, our midfield will be all right.
I don't think he knows how much game Anderson actually gets. He said it was a cameo. Anderson looked good in, but I don't think he actually realized that he never really played much games. I don't. Let me just try to show him when he actually comes in. Anderson comes in the 79th minute. Different from the cameo. So what are you talking about, James? He never actually played for Jamaica.
Look here. Let me tell you something. All of you have to understand something here, Even when the coach is using Latibadier, he is trying, because Latibadier does not play there, but he's using him to fill a gap and to do something. What we have to look at too, is that we have been complaining for years that we have a CDM problem.
Yeah.
Right now, we have, technically, we could say we have almost about 6 CDMs, possible CDMs, in the diaspora, right? That we are waiting on to blossom by the time they are about 26. Because that's when a lot of them are really going to be at their peak of their game. So by that time, when we've seen, and it's even longer than that for Anderson, so basically, the CDM it's almost something being built. You're not going to have 22-year-olds there. So basically what's happening, they're looking for somebody to be able to work with Isaac Hayden when he gets his documents sorted out. Right? That's, I can tell you that much. I give you all a little exclusive there. His thing is far, expect Isaac Hayden sooner than later.
All right, so Kira Anderson, look. One that we said is a cameo, which is not a cameo because he played 45 minutes in the one that you said he impressed in. And then the next one he came on for 11 minutes. And in 11 minutes, he completed 6 passes, which is 86%. And lost possession 3 times, went into 3 duels, never completed one of them, and committed 1 foul and 1 dribble pass in that one, in 11 minutes. That's what he did. So, the cameo, you can't say the cameo he impressed in. When the cameo was the last game, when they tried to slow the game down because 80 scored. And they just tried to put on people to try to stop the 80 from being such of a threat. Because they were a threat for the entire game. So I think you're watching the games in reverse. Giving the statements in reverse. Reverse. James, I think you should not consult Travis on a conversation with me. You understand me? Yes, Travis has his take of anything someone else said to go opposite to me. So don't use that, alright? Yeah, go ahead.
On the point that leader made about the JFF investing in angling, you know, that is the tragedy of having angling in the team. I'm going to take us back down memory lane to the goalkeeper that I believe it was Mr. Speed that made the utterance that the reason he continued to play even when he was not starting for Cavalier is that the JFF had invested so much in him. Let me tell you this. You see this foolishness that people continue to propagate about investing in players?
Oh God, Pastor.
It is only that. Yes.
Sometimes, Pastor, you can just relax, you know. You could just say don't agree with it, Pastor, and that's done. You don't have to go back down the memory lane. We don't have time. You have 5 minutes left for 2 hours, and you want to take the 5 minutes to war about history.
No, I don't want to take the 5 minutes.
Guys, Jadine White. They said they invested in, and yes, and we all said that was a wrong word to go with. So now we have a different in control people. So what you need to ask leader is if that carryover of the investment works, or these people are in full control of their actual selections.
It has never worked. And it's the same thing.
Pastor, you try argue, Pastor. I say you need to try find out if this thing is actually in effect today, or it's a thing of the past. Pastor, relax now.
Let me ask Pastor something. Quick. I hear him drop King name a while ago. Pastor, were you aware that a number of the games that King played, right? He was one of the highest rated players on the field, even when the thing oh gosh.
You can take your credit, you know, before you go to the next direction leader, because the war gonna start in the leader. You always come and I want to call out the boss name, you know.
Yes,
you play past he never outplayed Pinnock. Because in the same damn Costa Rica game,
he was ahead.
Yeah, but leader, your player give away almost 2 big chances in the game. Could have give Jamaica 2-0 down, and it was Pinnock actually recover him. So Pinnock make him continue to have a good game. So leader, stop separate the people them. All out we're saying your player play good. Your player play good. That is true.
He did not play good. He did not play good. He had a good player beside him.
No, Pastor, you can't do like that. Pastor, that's not how it works. A player can start off bad and play himself in the game. And yes, he did play himself in the game and did good.
He was made to look better, not because of anything that came from him, but because of the player around him telling him go do that and compensating for his deficiency.
Pastor, that's a part of the game. Pastor, that's a part of the game, Pastor. That's a part of the game in football.
And I am saying again, the decision to invest in these players who are below par at best is one of the main factors hurting the Jamaican football product.
All right, so
I can cite examples. I can cite 2 examples prior to the present handling.
So, hold on. So, hold on, Pastor, hold on, because we want to get everyone in the conversation. Leader was giving a point, which I think Leader was fair. I think maybe when King came in, it was skeptics question thing. I think he earns his call up. I think he actually earns his call up out of them. I can agree with you as well, Pastor, as to how you're saying that this experiment should not work. Continue because we have such of a deeper pool. And Raymond, massive respect for the 50 US. I'm gonna come and chop up the rest of the conversation for you. But let me just finish this point, Raymond, and then we attack your thing. Let me save it as well. Yeah. So finish your point, Leader, and then we can chop it up, because I do believe that King gets his respect by getting selected. But I can understand where Pastor coming from, that most of them that got selected never really repaid but that investment from the JFF. So is this a thing that should be continuing in the future?
Okay, question. Kerai Anderson. I'm going to use this to make my point. Some people are saying Kerai Anderson didn't have a good game, but a lot of us saw him, and in the minutes that he got, I loved how he played, and I saw the potential that's there to be developed later on. So are we saying that we must not call back Kerai Anderson because, he was he was not excellent, but the potential was there, and we saw more potential than with a lot of other players. So, and he didn't do badly. His ratings was not badly.
No.
King had so far, I can't remember many games of King getting his opportunity and actually failing, He has to, and you have to remember this too, This is a kid that when he got his debut, he was around, I think, was it 20, age 20, right? So he has been growing, and a center half is not normally, at that international level, at that young age. So this is something that we need to look at. And once he gets the time at international minute, it will assist his game to grow. You have to understand how young some of these players are. And if we don't groom them into this now, what are we going to do? Wait until we are deep into the qualification for the 2030 that we're going to be giving them their debut and trying with them? Come on. Football is about developing. Developing is not just seeing and then wondering if they're going to come off. You're going to have to take some time.
Leader, I agree. Leader, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I said that I think that he deserves his spot. He played for his spot, and I don't believe that Kerai Anderson played bad. At no point. I don't believe what James saying, and I don't think the coach believes so. I don't think nobody actually believes what James saying. It only tells me how James assess football if he thinks that Kerai Anderson had played bad at the time. You get me? That's why you have to have the conversation to see how people actually assess the football. But I don't think that he played bad at no time. I think both of his games, he went out and did his job. For King as well, I actually believe what you're saying. King did his job when he came in, but he made mistakes. But I just wanted people to admit that he made mistakes as well. Not just say that he was better than Ethan Pinnock, because it could come off away, and that is the problem why you get Pastor getting angry, because it come off away to him, because you're saying that he outplayed these guys, but if it weren't for these guys, he wouldn't be in that position in the first place, which is a team game. So it just sound away. But I totally agree with you. He played for that position and fully deserved to get his accolades them. But what I want to ask you right after that, Leader, because he came through and did so well, King, should we the JFF be investing in these players, or we should go by the system and the metrics that's going on now today? with Mr. John Wall and those guys that you perform to a certain standard, then you get picked. Which maybe not the case now, but that's what they're trying to go to. What would you say, dear leader? What you expect?
Okay. Look here now. We have to look at everything now, The idea is that when you have these games like the that are friendlies outside of the window, you will need players to play in them. You are not going to get your A side for all of the games. So what happens when you get these games and you need players? Where are you going to just keep putting a fresh set in? You have to have a set that is being developed so that when the time comes and say an Ethan Pinnock is carded out, who do you call on next to step up in there, right? If you have let's look at a scenario which can actually happen. Ethan Pinnock can be carded out. Low can get a red card. So after that, we're down to Bernard, right? And we need another 2 center halves to come into the gap. Who are they gonna be if you have not invested in at least having somebody there, right? And let's
leader.
Well, Pastor, let him finish. We can't. Let me finish the Pastor, man, and then you come in, Pastor.
Jenny, if he rattles off 5 points, it's a little bit more difficult.
But Pastor, that is your behavior as well. You rattle off 700 points, and nobody
I'm basically making it. Who do we do if we have an actual? Because people keep thinking that every game we're going to have the same 11. There will be card suspensions, there'll be injury, right? So if we have an actual situation of a Pinnock, say a Pinnock is unavailable, right? Okay, Damian Lowe gets a red card in a match, and we have 2 matches in a back-to-back. Damian Lowe gets a red card in 1 match. Ethan Pinnock is not there, right? And we are down to Deshaun Bernard. Who are the 2 center halves that we would be able to call probably at the last minute to bring in and not making them make the international debut? What are we going to do, Pastor? You tell me who would do. You are the coach, Pastor. What would happen in that situation?
Yeah, go ahead, Pastor, and then others can come in, and then I have to read the super chat because we have to show respect to the super chat. So go ahead and make you guys point, please.
The situation would not hit me that way, leader, because I would not have Wes Harding. I would not have Wes Harding out in the wilderness. And if I'm going for young players to go, the young centre back from the under 20, I think his name was also Clark too. Okay, we had a Clark in attack and one in defense, I think. That are playing at higher levels. I would have gone with those when they went with King. The thing is, that a lot of people keep using to justify King's selection is how the players that coordinated the defense around him made him come out of the game. You have to be elite for you to be a single defender. So I would not go with fresh players all the time, leader. I would literally pick the best players available to the team at the time. Because when they went for King, Wes Harding was playing. He had his passport. And Wes Harding is light years ahead of King.
All right. So what would you say about that now, leader? Saying that
let's make the point. That's easy. Pastor don't know international football. Pastor, are you aware that when you request a player, right, for an international window, right, it has to go in within a certain period before the match. And if we had an actual situation, this is an actual match now, sir. This is an actual match. You have the match coming on now. You are playing Canada, okay? And in the Canadian match, right, just before the match, in the match, actual match, Ethan Pinnock gets hurt. Damian Lowe gets a straight red.
Yeah, okay.
We cannot bring a player from overseas again at this stage, right? We cannot, right? Because they were not in part of that pool, so to speak. We can't bring them in the 1-2 days right
So
there.
pretty
You
much
can't.
you're saying that
So
you
what
have to
I'm
keep
saying
on
now,
investing in the program because you have to always have
who
somebody
are
from
you going to
local.
bring? No, I want Pastor to tell me what he does. And Pastor, let me tell you, when Richard King initially came into the Jamaica team was because of a similar situation. They needed a player urgently to fill a space that they could not have filled. It's not every time you can get somebody from overseas. It's not like you just take up the phone and you call Tottenham Hotspur and tell them to, oh, send down so and so. We didn't send a request for him, but send him down just the same. It doesn't work
With
that way.
Richard,
And does it
leader,
make
let
sense
me
to call a player in that short period than to get? Come on, man. You have to think
leader.
100%.
Before we continue this conversation, both of you guys making good points. Let me just read the super chat. Raymond put $50. Massive respect for that. Said Anderson top 10 at his age level in Concacaf. Right now, I've watched Anglins play last night. Harborview versus Arnett. The player is not good enough for the national team. He needs to get out of Jamaica to get some football education. So that is what Raymond's take on angling. Yes. As to leader's statement, I actually agree with leader on the terms of the broad brush. The broad brush of we have to have quality developments in Jamaica going on. So if the case is we can't get a player to go from overseas, but where we can kill that argument of leader, we have reserve spots as well. So the bigger Jamaica team is, and the more you reason with people, some will accept a reserve spot so you can activate it if we have any emergency problems. So you can solve it just the same because you don't send out just 23 or 27 spots. You send out 35 players. They have literally confirmed that they sent out to 30 odd players. So the deeper pool of who can play centre backs, I would agree with Pastor there. Wizarding comes on, Till comes on, Mariapa comes on. Then you move on to the players them that are multifunctional. Comes in the Latibodiers them comes in, the Amari Bell comes in, the Greg Lee them comes in that can play more than one role. So I think we can look for it both sides, but we have to always keep the local side developing. But should that not be down to the club's leader? Because I think the problem is, it Pastor JFF investing in them. That's what I think is Pastor's problem. So, what the clubs does for these players rather than JFF investing in them? Leader, that is the question I want to ask. Pastor, look like you want to respond, but others want to get in the conversation as well at the same time. So you guys do anything now.
All right, leader. Before you go again, the statement you made and the question that you asked me is prudent, except we're not dealing with a JFF that has followed protocols and procedures that apply anywhere else but Jamaica. So don't expect to ask me that question and get an answer based on what happens in the world outside, because that don't apply to Jamaica. And you know that to be a fact. So let me answer you now. JD went on to rattle off several players that play centre back in the squad at the time when King was selected, with all of them having the possibility to be put on a reserve group, if not in the immediate 23. And by the way, I heard you on a program that said that King was not the best centre back available at the time, though he may have been the youngest at that level. So I could go look back for that program and have that be played where you, leader, made that statement. I have never said anything at any time to say that Jamaica should not have a 40-member pool of locally born players prepped in case of an emergency where we're in a situation in Jamaica and we did not make proper preparation to be able to call somebody in who is at the highest level. I have never said anything negative about that. We should. Any sensible management program of football in any country have that. And that is something that is littered across Africa. Every country down there have two teams.
But Pastor, should it come through the JFF? Would you agree with that,
And
or you
that is the
think it should come?
contention, JD.
I think it
It
should
should
come
not
through the
come through the
clubs.
JFF in the
No,
national program, in the national
hold on,
team.
Pastor. But it should come through the clubs, but it's constructed through the JFF, because remember the JFF have had some
Yes.
input. So you structure it a way that the clubs don't just get money, but also invest in these youths.
Yes, and the national team should not be the entity through which they are prepared.
Okay.
And that has always been my contention.
Okay.
The national senior team should never be the place where they are funneled through.
All right then, no problem. So
Okay,
let me
can
get you
I-
back,
can I
leader.
answer you?
Go in, leader. Go in, leader. Yeah, go in.
Okay, Pastor, let me just get into what you're saying. I had no time said that Richard King was not the best. When he was called, I think I've said on several times that the coach, right, the local coach at the time, Theodore Whitmore, had to ask someone because he was not aware of all of the centre halves around. The choice was between, I can call the youngster's
Thanks.
name now, was between Ajani Talbot, who played for Harborview, and Richard King, which were the two better centre halves in the local league at the time that could be available to travel the next day, literally, right? So that's what happened, okay? And when the person looked at it, Ajani Talbot was a player that had a number of chances also, but they could not, the person that was a scout, and he was actually a Harborview coach at the time also, said that he couldn't honestly submit Talbot's name when he sees that King is right now way ahead of him. So that's exactly what I would have said. But let me just go into something here now. Pastor, you are the coach, okay? We play Canada today. The whole, by the way, JD,
Mm-hmm.
how long is a flight, right, from, say, England to Jamaica?
9 hours.
9 hours.
9.5 hours.
Pastor, England big, you know. So
Just a little bit. And
Well, yeah, England big. It's based on where you're coming from. It's based on where you're coming from.
Listen, let's put everything into the mix. How long will it take? JD, if you go to England now,
Mm-hmm.
right now, we're speaking now, right?
Yes.
And I call you saying another 2 hours, right? So we're playing a match now. And
Mm-hmm.
after the match, something happens, 2 players get red cards. You are in England. What type of turnaround would it be now for you to reach Jamaica from where you are? So this happens now. The match is finished at the 9 o'clock. Okay, hold on now. 9 o'clock in the night. The match is finished. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do now to get JD from England to be able to reach Jamaica to play the next match in, say, Costa Rica in 2 days?
That is almost impossible. That is almost impossible situation.
That's what I'm. Okay.
Nobody has ever disagreed with that, leader.
No, but no, Pastor, you have, because you are saying.
No, I have not. No, I have not.
I'm going to tell you exactly what you said, Pastor.
Yes, you can.
Pastor, let him speak and then you finish.
You said that they must have this pool, which they always do. What this new coach has done, he makes sure. That's why he had the situation with what was it now? Greg Lee and then Michael Hector talking out that their clubs were notified that they were in a thing, but they didn't call them for the final list. But if something did happen, they could activate them, right? If it with enough time. But when you are in a situation where the squad is there already and something happens and 2 of your players are out, you cannot fly somebody there to be able to be in another match that's going to be in 2 days' time. That's impossible.
So leader, how would you approach it? Would you put on 5?
No, it's not me. Pastor is going to answer now. Pastor is a coach for the side. His 2 main centre halves, one came off injured, the other one got a red card. What do you do now, sir? Pastor?
Yeah, I'm answering you, leader. You're trying to say that I said that it would be impossible to call overseas players within that short time frame.
Yes,
I have never disagreed with that.
I'm asking you.
No, hold on. I'm answering all of that, clearing up what you're trying to insinuate, which I never ever said in this conversation nor any other conversation. Leader,
Coach Pastor, what do you do now? One player came off
You
injured,
do
the other one
what
gets a red
you
card.
do, what you do now is, especially since you're talking about now, Cavalier is still in the season, the Caribbean competition. I could almost be sure that they're not going to be playing the matches at the same time.
Hold on. Let me just make it a little bit more, right?
Mhm.
There's no senior competition going on. There's no Caribbean competition. What do you do, sir?
So from the teams that have been actively participating in the Caribbean competition,
No,
I would look
there's
for the
no
best.
Caribbean competition.
I said,
Take that out of the mix.
sir,
I am asking. Yes, sir.
Pastor,
You
better way
said
to
we're dealing with now,
Pastor, better way to say it is
Jenny.
no, the better way, and I'm just adding into it because I heard what he
Okay.
said. The better way to say it is the closest to the fitness pool. Then, so the team that was last active, you're gonna start pick from those pools. That's what you're saying,
Team
just a
or
while ago,
teams
Pastor.
that were last active, I would have looked for the best replacement out of those. Let's say 4 teams, last 4 active teams at the highest level of competition that they could possibly be playing. The last 4 of those, I would look among
So,
those 8 centre backs
Pastor,
to
okay, hold on now,
get the 2
Pastor.
from.
Pastor, okay, let's look at it here now. Let's suppose that Dunbeholden was that team that was there. Dunbeholden has never had a centre half called to the national team. Let me give you a name. One of Dunbeholden's centre half is this youngster by the name of Hodges. I think it's Hodges, right? He has no experience internationally. Really. So, you would be calling this youngster to step into the breach with no form of international experience, Pastor, as you are saying, because you would not have played him in any of these B matches at all, right? You would have played.
You know,
That's what
leader,
you're
that is
saying.
very disingenuous.
No,
I have never seen the
but you're
Jamaica
saying,
squad
who would
selected
you?
with less than 4 centre backs.
No, hold
I
on.
have
I just
never
said,
seen the
hold on.
Jamaican
I
23
just
member
told you
squad
who are out.
selected with less than
I
4
just told you
centre
who
backs.
are out, Pastor.
What he's trying to do is argue his case as to why
Yes.
JFF had to put players in to get ready even when they weren't ready, because they have to have secondary personnels that can slot in, because if you bring in somebody that is new completely, it will just be harsh. But I understand the war, I understand the war we're going. But leader is trying to prove his point why they needed to do what they have to do. So let me bring in Jason and Solids, if they are listening to this conversation, what they want to add to it. Because I think both of you guys have your point in about leader trying to come from the point of this is why they have done it.
JD, one thing I will say before Jason them interject. The Jamaica squad has always been selected with 4 centre backs plus players who can play centre back roles. So you do not have to baptize him in the first in the first 45 minutes. You take him there. The two persons who would be next in line, who are in the 23-man squad, would start the game, and you use him to remedy the situation in shorter minute span.
And Pastor, one of those centre halves get injured. These are actual situations that happen, right? So the one of those centre halves that with caliber 4, of course, and one of those get injured. What do you do now? Hold on,
leader.
Pastor.
Yes, what do I do?
Just give me a second now. Let me finish. Do you do what one of our former coaches did? Carry a winger in to play that role and then give up the whole game by bringing that person that's not accustomed to playing there that chance, instead of putting on somebody that can actually play there, right? Because you're afraid to play the younger one, that are the inexperienced one, because he has no experience.
I don't think you know who you're talking to, so you would not have asked me that question. I have never served as the president of the conference that I work in, but I am a pastor by training, and I do my work at a particular level that I can literally aid the members that I serve. If all of the executive of the conference that I have working drop they didn't want plane crash on them way to general conference session. If every single one of them dead, and they have to call in a full fleet of pastors and my name come up, I guarantee you I'm not going to fail. You know why? because this is what I do. If you are a footballer, you are prepared to be called on to the next level. And especially when you're not going to be needed for the entire 90 minutes. I guarantee you, leader, that any footballer that is worth the jersey when upon their back, you're supposed to be prepared for what you are doing. Don't ask me them kind of loose question, the leader.
All right,
Hold on. Let me just
no,
state
leader, before we go, let me just kill it right here. Let me just, because I heard what he said. So, people, would you rather to call a person that has no experience in the squad for emergency situation, or would you rather to call the best informed person that a person that you have trained for the position? That is the single thing that have been over the last 20 minutes. Leader trying to say that it's best when you have someone prepared for the position, whether or not he's in the best form, because they think that they can get the better out of that, because they would have known the system much more comfortable around the surrounding, rather than a man that's coming today. He's informed, but he does not know nothing, and he's just gonna go out there and just use his footballing metrics that he has to fit in a team for the whole. Yeah, that's what you got. So decide what you want. Go ahead, Pastor, because I want to bring in Jason and Staths back in the conversation, and you and Pastor go back and forward. Star, Pastor, leader, you talk, Pastor. Pastor, leader, you just a talk, Pastor. Make the man talk, the Pastor, make the man done no, so we can done this conversation. Me now go talk 3 hours for it. Pastor, stop it, no man.
I have nothing else to say.
You give the instruction,
but Pastor, leader was just saying something and I'm listening. That's why I could just say what both of you guys saying. So you don't need for war, Pastor, for the next 20 minutes. So let the fans decide.
You said go ahead, Pastor. Jenny, you said go ahead, Pastor.
Okay.
That's why I started to speak.
Leader said that I said. Leader said I've said everything. Yeah, because you're confused, Pastor, because we're trying to bring in Solids and Jason back into the conversation, and you just take over the show star. We're going to ban Pastor for 3 weeks.
You instruct me to say something. Jenny do not know, Jenny. Everybody we listen to the program here, you instruct me to say something.
All right.
I listen to you saying what you're saying, and you instructed me to say something.
All right. Pastor, let the people decide who they want. Let me ask Solids and Jason Guna, with a situation like that pop up, which side would they try to choose at that point? So I don't know if Jason Guna or Solids want to go first, if they are listening to the conversation. All right, it looks like Solid is Pastor. Solid is here. Solid, go ahead, big boss.
No, may I say, me lose track a little bit because Pastor was making a lot of points in one, so me not really.
No big clash between Pastor and leader. We have to set up a program with both of them and the StreamYard for fight it out after.
And then you make cataract the referee.
Okay. I will have the figure. Maybe you have to be the referee because Cataract get buy out by the next pastor, you know? Yes, him over the next pastor channel. Next pastor sign him. The next pastor sign him, you know? Yeah, so maybe you have to be the referee.
No, pastor. Big up yourself, however.
Yeah, but what we're saying, J. Taylor, is Leah tried to explain the importance of having a player in reserve, why the JFF had to do it at the time. Because of the knowledge that you gain, and you could come in and be a stopgap situation rather than just pick a man off the next team. No, what he was saying, what Pastor was saying is just pick the next one man informed from Jamaica. It no matter if he have no experience none at all with the national team, and just bring him come and film football ability will take him over the top in 24 hours. So which one you agree with?
No, I'm gonna agree with leader because we've seen how a lot of times how the pace of the game make our players who just leave the local league how them look. The pace of the game is a thing that we have to take into consideration, Pastor. And maybe if you have a player in reserve, they might have caught on a little bit. Not saying they have caught on fully to the pace of the game, but I'm sure they're probably going to be a little bit more up to speed than the person that you're bringing in immediately. Because I think that's a thing that we really take for granted. The pace
The
of the
only place in the
international
world.
game. Yeah, the pace of the international game tends to be what separates a lot of players. A lot of players sometimes go out there. I remember that kid Daniel Green. He was a good player leaving Mount Pleasant, but you saw he was just running himself wild. He was fouling. I remember one game he fouled. He probably had about 10 or 12 fouls just on him by himself because the adrenaline took over and the game was fast and he's trying to keep up. But that's not how the international game works. It's more of a understanding the game and letting the game come to you and know where to be on the field. It's more awareness. So I would go with what Leader is saying because the other player would have then get a little bit more experience with the awareness and the pace of the game.
The only place in the world where the senior national team is used to to funnel player is Jamaica. I have nothing negative against any player being prepared for call up. So in games like this one against Guatemala, this is where I expect to see the players being played. Not in World Cup qualifiers, not in major competitions. Like this friendly, this is where I expect them to be prepared. So all that Leader is saying, I am in total disagreement. Because I have never at any point in my life even suggested, that we shouldn't have a prepared squad.
All right. So, all right, Pastor. Guys, we have come to the end of the show. 2.5 hours I've given you. The end of the show. I want everyone to give their point, and then people just catch up, and then tomorrow we'll follow it up because that's what Pastor does. Come and take over the whole show. So we're gonna give him 30 minutes to himself every day. All right. So Pastor will just get 30. What?
Very unfair.
People, please do smash the like button. We have gone through everything, showed a few players that we think can represent the Jamaica team versus Guatemala. We talked about the situation being not a FIFA window, so who will be available. We educate you on MLS players that are still in season. So the Damian Lowe's, the Lamberts, the Blake won't be there, but you would have Wait coming in, and several other players that's going to come in to make it stronger. And I think the Guatemala team would have the same problems, but maybe slight less because they don't rely on so much English base top quality players as us. So they might have a slightly stronger team than what we do have. Maybe we don't know because maybe we will get 24 super gems from Jamaica that we never knew much about. So let's see, give them a chance. Yes, so I'm gonna give Leader his final point, and then we give Solid his final point. Yes, and then we talked about the Manning Cup predictions and everything. So by tonight we will have those games. If the video hit 200 likes, maybe I will stay up and do a Manning Cup recap. But that's a big if. All right. Who's gonna win? Kai Motion said between Newcastle and Dortmund. That's gonna be a good one, but I think it's gonna be tough. All right, Dortmund. Playing style is a kryptonite to Newcastle. Newcastle's playing style. But I think it more likely would be a draw in this one. I will go with. All right. Yes. So go ahead, Leader. Give your final point, and thanks for coming on and answering the hard questions and deal with Pastor as well. You know. Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, all I can say is I'm glad that he made my point there, and let's see what happens on Saturday. Let's see what happens on Saturday. But I can tell you, it's not going to be an easy match at all because one of the things is that Guatemala will almost be having close to their same team that they played, and they just lost 1-0 to us. So. But on the other hand, I know this coach is not going to end the match to lose. So let's see how it goes.
All right. JT, thanks for passing through, my brother. What you have to say? Drop the love. Just pull the video back, and you will hear everything. One thing about us, we have always stuck to the topics. that you saw in the heading. All right. Yeah, we have discussed players that we think should be in the team or not. We talked about that. We talked about the Manning Cup. We talked about the JPL. We talked about even the Caribbean Cup Championship. How it's going to be affected right there. So we did a lot of things today. Blake and Lowe are the only MLS players still in season. So Kevin Lambert plays in MLS. James Smith. So Kevin Lambert is out of the MLS. James Smith, go ahead. Okay. Leader. Salid went out. All right. So let me check Kevin Lambert to see if Kevin Lambert has any more matches, because James Smith says they are not in season. So Real Salt Lake has no more matches. They have no more matches, right? So
Has the show ended, JD?
No. You're still here. Real Salt Lake. Let me check it right here. Real Salt Lake. Let me see who advances. Why they are not updating who advances? All right. Let me check it right here. And for some reason it's not putting up the who advance. Vancouver. Let me see if Vancouver has any more matches. Vancouver, both games, we know about that. So Javian Brown would be available. Yes. So it's just between Real Salt Lake situation. All right. And I've not seen any. Yes. They got knocked out yesterday. Okay. Thanks for that correction. All right. So that means he would be available then. All right. So yeah, that is very good. Thanks for that. Yeah, man, JJ, I was just saying thanks for coming on and give you a final point. Because we want to shut off the show so we can, keep it into under 3 hours. I don't like the longer streams.
Yeah, man. I just want to finish off on your point where you spoke about the Guatemalan team. I think they will have a little bit more cohesion than us. It always seems like that because it looks like a lot of their players are based locally. I'm not going to pretend that I know, actually, because I don't track the Guatemalan team.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems that whenever they come to play us, they always seem able to. It's not a big drop-off. No matter what window they come to play us, they're always pretty consistent with passing the ball around, getting ball position. But however, Jamaica always seem to. This is the kind of game where Jamaica always seems to use physicality to survive, even if Jamaica has a bad game. It seems like Jamaica against Guatemala and El Salvador throughout history, even when Jamaica is not playing well, it seems like this is the type of game where the Jamaican physicality tends to just kind of take its toll on the Guatemalans later on in the game, and we hang around, maybe get the 1-0 win or the draw kind of thing. So that's my take on that.
All right. So yeah, it is showing me that Real Salt Lake actually won the penalty yesterday, which is weird because the two games finished on 3-2 aggregate. So I don't know why would they have a penalty shootout. So unless we're not getting the actual information here. So we will follow up on that, guys. I'm going to go and check the games in for myself to make sure the Lambert situation sorted. All right? Because that's what it's telling me here. So unless the software is giving wrong information, which it would say 3-2 in total. And that's what it's saying. But why would they go 3-2 in a penalty? I don't understand that. Yes. So J Taylor, thanks for that point. So people, I will come back with the additional updates and things. Maybe it won't be tonight, but if it's tonight, you will see me an hour before the time. All right? Yes, so please do smash the like button, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.